Give me a second, chat. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Night Ghost Rider broadcast. I am back. I am live and alive. I know y'all thought I was dead. Because I've been gone a lot the last few days. But I'm live and alive. I am back. I'm ready to go. I'm so glad I'm here with you wonderful people. Again. But work got in the fucking way. Work sucked. I had to work 2 rounds 4 of the last 5 days. I hopped in the car to get ready for work today, and I realized that they canceled. They took me off the job because I'm working 2 rounds tomorrow. However, working 2 rounds tomorrow, I'm going to be done before lunch. So we will have stream tomorrow. I might stream early tomorrow. I don't know. I might feel productive and do some more editing. I did editing today. I edited for about 3 hours-ish, and I got about a minute done. I got about a minute and a half done. Yes, that sounds like not a lot, but that's about how long it takes me to edit, chat. That's about how long it takes me to edit. So anyway, I'm live and alive. Nothing really of note happened. I caddied for a bunch of Mormons. I got thrown on a 1 and done for 2 rounds on Saturday, and then they took me again for 2 rounds yesterday. So I got that money. To pay for my midlife crisis purchase of my batting practice machine. Chad, do you want to see me do baseball activities? Not the Mormons. I mean, they were fine. They just kept talking about missions. And they basically told me that I should shill for them to rent out the house that they bought in the area. But I feel like that violates my thoughts on landlords. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. Or actually, they prefer members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Whatever, Gold. Also, Gold, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You know that person that hit that home run. I want to see based balls. Okay. Maybe tomorrow afternoon. Deal? What's the deal? What's the deal, kiddo? What deal are we doing? Maybe tomorrow afternoon after work, I film myself doing baseball stuff. Man, I'm gonna be in the park though, and there's gonna be fucking people watching me and shit. Maybe I'll go to the local high school. Except I'm pretty sure I would dox myself if I did that. But it's kind of fucking weird to be old enough to like know famous like public people. Gold, I was in college and I was an enormous Flyers fan, and one of their star players was 19 years old, and I was like 20, and I'm like, oh God, it's over. I can't be a professional athlete at this point. So anyway, kidda, congratulations. The first cat on the second, Gold on the third, Raph on the participation trophy. Raph, how was your stream the other day? I tried sending people over there. I hope they found their way over there. And I hope you're doing well. What else did... Okay, last time I streamed was Friday, where we played Helldivers with Okay-ish. What else can I tell you? I tried waking up yesterday morning. Oh, yeah, I'm still congested a little bit. I don't sound nearly as bad as I did on Friday, but, like, I literally lay in bed for, like, 3-4 hours until my nose clears enough where I can actually, like, sleep well. Because I wear a night guard, so I have to breathe through my mouth if my nose is clogged. And, like, my lips just get so dry, and I can't, like, sleep at all. But eventually the nose clears up, and I eventually fall asleep, so... First and second were kidda? No. First and second were not kidda. Oh, Kidda Cat. Yeah, I guess. Yesterday it was great. Saturday was good, but I didn't get to watch the Knicks game because I was trying to watch videos and prep. When that was a terrible idea. No, Ref! Realize I've been sick for 2 straight months, so I'm going to see a doctor Thursday. It's probably allergies, because I'm pretty sure that's what mine is. Also, chat, since I've been gone for a long period of time, I thought I would reward you. Tish, thank you for the participation trophy. Or congratulations on the participation trophy. I thought I would reward you all with a blue shirt and blue lights so y'all can see my eyes. So y'all can enjoy my eyes. So, anyway, I'm live 10 minutes early because Sandal yelled at me. Oh, hi, Okayish. How are you? Okayish, have you recovered from us spreading democracy together? You know what's better than a blue shirt? No shirt? Gold. Y'all got that already. Y'all got that already, and that's on the internet. However, you are correct, technically, because Gold, that was my highest viewed CCV stream since the tsunami stream. So either it's got to be a huge natural disaster, or I need to not wear shirts on stream. That's what I'm hearing. Some ways yes, in some ways I will never recover. She went on a tangent, but she'll be here soon. Oh, I know. I knew she could stretch it out. She could always stretch it out. God, that sounded bad. I feel bad about that. But anyway, I did some editing. I have 6 minutes and 30 seconds done. Sorry, what? Yeah, I'm sorry. It wasn't supposed to be that way. I realized it as I was saying it. I was asking Sandal to stretch out her stream till 6 o'clock, and then it just came out bad. I'm also supposed to get delivered something today, and I was hoping it was going to come before stream, but it'll just have to be delivered while I'm live. But the pasta maker's getting delivered today. This morning, like I said, I thought I was going to work, but I woke up early this morning, and I did some meteorology stuff. No, I woke up late. I did some baseball stuff. I stretched out my shoulder. And then I did drills off the rebounder to help me fix my fielding and stuff. But pasta, yeah. I have so much pasta that I bought in advance, though, that I'm probably not going to use the pasta maker for a while. But I jumped on it because it was on sale. So, plan is... Oh, fuck. Oh, no. She went on a tangent, but she'll be here soon. Oh, I know. I knew she could stretch it out. She could always stretch it out. God, that sounded bad. Okay, the closed captioning, you need to be able to edit it because it's like wrong sometimes. Like, you need to be able to edit it. And that's another reason my editing takes so long, because I make sure that my subtitles are correct. Woke up to a guy outside screaming to a guy in a truck saying, "You missed the turn." I mean, that's a good alarm clock. Nice super merch. Thank you. I thought about wearing my other super merch too, but I thought I'd give you some good hair. Oh, that hair wasn't great. Yes, I have super merch, which y'all should follow Supa.
I'm sure it was good.
Y'all should follow Supa. What about her pack? Wait, what'd she say about her package?
I'm sure it was good. I do love a good package.
Oh, Supa loves a good package. Chat, take note of that. Make sure we let Supa know that we know she likes good packages. Okay, I have 7 minutes of the video done. Chat, I have 7 minutes of the video done, which means I have 30 minutes left. I have 30 minutes left. Jesus fucking Christ. Why? Oh, I went on a tangent. I probably have to delete like large sections because there's definitely sections that are not good. And like there was stuff that I actually got wrong that I had to delete today. Did you know that the life expectancy in Vietnam is actually pretty low relative to the United States? Like in Vietnam, it's 75, in the United States is 79. And Cuba's life expectancy is 78, in the United States is 79. I always thought that Cuba's life expectancy was higher. But like, despite all the embargoes and everything on Cuba, Vietnam and stuff, I still think that's pretty good. Also, Vietnamese public education is not good. So it must be like all privatized or something. But literacy rates though are very high, and home ownership rates in Cuba and Vietnam are like over 90%. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So I think we're gonna do suzerain today again, and I'm gonna try not to get cooed, but I've been pissing off all the people with guns. So we'll see how this goes. Also, I plan on buying Dave the Diver while it's on sale. It's on sale for $10 right now. So I plan on buying that. So that might be the next game. I also kind of want to do a backyard baseball stream. Oh, also Date Everything is on sale too. Date Everything's on sale. So I'll probably also be purchasing that. Did I already purchase that? I might have already purchased that. Did I already purchase that? Where is it? Did I already purchase that? I might have already purchased it. Look up Lazy River. Thank you for reminding me of Date Everything. You're welcome. I did not purchase it yet. Where the fuck is it? There's no way I took it off. No, I have it. Yeah, 1019. It's 66% off. Also, chat, I am going to work a lot again this week. Fun story. Because they adjusted my work schedule this week. Oh, shit. Because they adjusted my work schedule this week, I was going to go Saturday to my friend's place because we have games on Sunday. And I forgot to make myself unavailable for work, so they scheduled me. And, of course, they scheduled me to work on Saturday. So that sucked. But that means I'm going to make... Well, I should make good amounts of money this week. We'll see if I get fired. We should make good amounts of money this week. Which, again, makes up for my midlife crisis purchase that I made last week buying that batting practice machine. However, maybe I can write it off. I feel weird writing it off, but I feel like I can't get away with it. Should make myself unavailable for work. I'm only unavailable emotionally. So, like, all the time. But yeah, I mean, maybe I can get away writing it off. Bro, billionaires do worse shit all the time. Like, write that shit off. Yeah, I know that. But, like, I don't... I mean, I could definitely say, like, I use it on stream. Also, I don't mind paying taxes. I also pay not a lot of taxes anyway because of that $25,000 no tax on tips thing. Like, I think I paid $700 in taxes last year. Now, I paid a lot in, like, Medicare and Social Security. I don't know. I guess I should probably write it off. I don't mind paying taxes when my taxes go to people programs who need it. True. I do always say like 60% of my money goes to terrorizing brown people. But the other 40% goes to good stuff. So I guess by writing it off, I'm preventing money from going to bombing brown people. Yes, I caught myself. Write it off as much as you can and donate the rest to mutual aid. Okay. Maybe I'll ask my CPA and be like, hey, I bought something and I used it on stream. Like, I remember a lab telling me, he's like, hey, if you ever eat anything on stream, just, like, fucking write it off. I could probably do that. But if I do, like, a specific cooking stream, I could definitely write that stuff off. So I should just cook on stream all the time? Oh my God, is that it? Is that it? I just cook on stream all the time, and then I write off groceries? That's what we should all do. That's what we should all do. We should just cook on stream constantly. Just live on stream 24/7, write everything off. Based. Also, I can't write off my rent because my setup is in my living room. But if I set it up, if I move my setup to the second bedroom, and that second bedroom was only used for streaming, I could write off that section of my rent, or that proportionality of my rent. And then I could write off that proportionality of my rent for electricity too. Which I think would screw me because most of my electrical input, most of my electricity would be probably stream. So I mean, it's better than nothing. Also, internet. Yeah, I claim my internet, period. So I do that. She actually asked me about it. She's like, hey, for utilities, is this like your electricity and stuff? Like, no, it's my internet that I use to stream and upload content. And she didn't push back, so. Yeah, especially since my fucking internet is $95 a month. Ridiculous. To be fair, though, when I was on the island, I was paying $90 a month, and I was getting 3 megabits per second, but now I get a gigabit up and a gigabit down. I got myself all dressed up nice for a date, and I think I got stood up, so I'm like just gonna go to the taco cart in my fancy dress. Oh, I'm sorry, Kat. I'm sorry. I hope you enjoy the tacos, though. We could be your date. Also, I was gonna shave, but Sandal made me go live, so I'm sorry. It's fine. I look incredible. It'll be a shame for the world to not see. True. Facts. Facts. I look amazing. It's that person lost, not yours. True. We have nodders. Kidda, stop it. I hate when chatters that are in here yell at me for chatting in other streams. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Kidda. Yeah, I'm fucking talking about you. You? Also, I'm going to be in this raid. We're literally on our way here. Yeah, Sandal's coming, chat. Sandal's coming. Not late raid. Oh, I like that lemon. I've been stretching it out. I was waiting to start the game until everybody came in. But oh, hey, welcome in, Raiders. What a surprise.
Life is not a wasted time, and time is not a wasted life. So let's stop wasting time and have the time of our life.
Well, thank you, Pitbull. Thank you, Pitbull. It's me and Maya. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. I'm not late. You're late. Technically, I was early. I was very early. I was much earlier than normal. But welcome in, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. For those that don't know, I'm Ned Ghost Rider. Most people call me Ghost. I'm a variety gamer. I play a bunch of different games. I also do react content to YouTube videos, news and politics, and current events. Sandal, thank you so much for the raid. I was lurking in your stream most of the time. But once again, Music Monday. Incredible. He also does weather. Yes, I do weather. I do weather. Yes, I said do. I do talk about weather. We talked about the tsunami last summer. Also, hi, Tish. The weatherman, yeah. It's a shit weather day. Lemon, don't you live in the UK? Isn't every day a shit weather day? But Sandal, thank you so much for the raid. Hopefully you all stick around. Hopefully you enjoy the stream. If you have to raid and run, I understand. But hopefully we'll see you here in the future. Not late raid. Hi, Fox. Wouldn't you like to know whether Mike got him? Conveniently didn't cover the tornado warning that I missed last week while I was snacking in the pantry. Oh, if only somebody literally let me know. If only somebody let me know that there was tornadoes in the fucking area. And and I could check it. I think someone told me. Was I supposed to know I was snacking in the pantry? Well, if you were snacking in the pantry, you were good. Wait, what? Wait, I'm sorry. What? You had a tornado warning in your area, and you just happen to have been snacking in the pantry? Okay, I need an explanation here. Also, someone told me there was tornado warnings in Colorado at some point. And I'm like, I wonder if that's near Kidda. The snacks were calling. Did you fall asleep in the pantry? All set up for when I applied to college. Had my transcript set to UMGC in Maryland. They have a computer info systems degree. Gives a bachelor's. Oh, nice. Shaking my head. Don't dox Kidda like that. Everybody. Wait, people know that about Kidda. Single file lines. Thank you for the follow. I thought you were already following, but thank you. Thank you, Singy. Welcome in. I'm a growing girl. Wait till October. I thought it was too. Yeah. Wait, what? That's not your first message, though. You've literally sent messages. What? What's happened? Single? Singy? Singy? What happened? You've sent messages in here. This has been like a follower-only stream for a long time. I'm only messing with you. I'm going to guess some coordinates in Colorado, and you have to tell me if I'm close, Kidda. I'm going to time you out for that one, Lemon, for encouraging doxing. But yeah. So anyway, chat, I've been stretching it out. Waiting for y'all to come in here. And now that y'all are in here, we're going to play a game called Suzerain, which is a game where you become, I'm sorry. I got on a tangent. Sandal, you're good. Oh, I know. I knew she could stretch it out. She could always stretch it out. God, that sounded bad. Sandal, I'm sorry. The words came out weird. Tech Noir, thank you for the follow. The words came out weird, Sandal. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm a foe, damn it. I'm an ally for 11 months out of the year, but this fucking month, I'm a goddamn fucking foe. He then accidentally talked about how good he was at stretching it out, too. True. Stretching it out, sussy. Prove it. Y'all want me to stretch on stream? Didn't y'all see enough of me on stream? Didn't you all see enough of me on stream last week? Or was it 2 weeks ago? Last week? 2 weeks ago. Chat, I don't know what day of the week it is anymore. Is it? I didn't say what day of the week it is at the beginning of the stream like I always do. Because I was so flustered to go live. Go kiss the nearest guy right now. Wouldn't I be the nearest guy? No, we gotta see it. Kidda. That is an insane emote. I mean, we make the joke constantly in the stream. So, of course we needed that emote. What if Tish gifts another 400 subs? We're not having Tish. Why you volunteer me like that? We're not gonna do that. Tish has already been extremely generous to this community. Lamau, I'm broke now, unfortunately. Yeah, they have been extremely generous. They've been extremely generous to this community. Y'all have enjoyed and embraced that stream. So just be very happy that you got that. Miss Jenner, I caught myself. Don't be doing that. That's your cue to give subs. I was an Oiler last year and we'll need to recover for the next decade. That's fair. I'm leaving. Nar. But that's a good emote, Tish. All right, I got to launch the game. I'm having a hard time finding the game. All right, there it is. All right, we're going to get the game going. We're going to get the game going. I got the Phillies game on. I'm literally like 5 minutes from finishing Hassan's stream. To be fair, he did just say he's a foe. True. True. I did say I was a foe. Also, my family's at the Phillies game right now. My dad volunteered my mom to work at catering. My dad volunteered my mom to work at catering. And she was so excited to finally go to a Phillies game because they have season tickets. She was so excited to go to a Phillies game. And then my dad volunteered her to work at catering. So my mom is working. And my dad and brother are at the Phillies game. And my dad was like, oh, you can earn extra money for when we go to Vegas. And my mom's like, I haven't been to a fucking Phillies game. I was excited to go to a Phillies game. And my dad's going to the game, and he's going to spend all the money that my mom makes at the game. Men, yeah. I mean, my dad does dumb shit like that. And my dad said he won $55 on JT's homer, which means he's gambling. I guess that pays for some of the game. But anyway, let's get back to Sue's Ring. We haven't played this in a while because we had Unhinged Friday on Friday. Spreading democracy with Okayish. I had some fun, Okayish. Maybe we could do that again. Also, hopefully, Keko's fucking computer. Hopefully, Keko either gets a new computer or his computer can actually, like, run Helldivers. Hopefully, it's one of those two things. Oh, I'm not playing Helldivers. That's why it's not showing up. I had so much fun, even though I was sweating. You were sweating? Helldivers is not for his life. I got Arc Raiders. I was sweating. Why were you sweating? What about Arc Raiders? Oh, what was the game I was looking up? BiteSync, you had a game to look up? Lazy River. Oh, I feel like I've seen that. What is this? What is this? We'll watch this together, chat.
Gift shop. I want to.
Oh, shit.
Woo! Yeah, see, it's working.
Guys, the gift shop. I want to buy some stuff. I want sunglasses.
I love a gift shop.
This is like rap in a lazy river. Okay, I might wish this. I might wish list this. All right, I guess we'll get into the game. I do feel like Rafts would be a good Unhinged Friday stream. Or Unhinged Friday game. For everybody. I'm going to get it downloaded tonight. Oh, that dream fucked me up, Ghost. I don't know. Oh, because Keko was in the call. Every night's going to be a doozy, but I might be okay to play after. Otherwise, I can definitely play the next 2 days. Vorlov, Yakub. Oh. Y'all are having a conversation. And I'm reading it out loud. All right, chat. Let's try not to get cooed. Let's try not to get fucking cooed. Read the report. Bergen police ambushed by young militants. Ambushed and rival by 2 underage suspect armed with KA-74s. Who were quickly killed. The suspects are believed to have been newly recruited militants of the Bloodish Freedom Front. This incident highlights the growing trend in underage recruitment by the BFF. Separatist movements, chat. Trade talks with President of Wheelin. Which one's Wheelin? Oh, I guess we could look at the news. Skilled immigration, a catalyst for economic growth. So The Economist is the right-wing dish rag. So anytime I do anything pro-capitalist, they love it. Mind your own damn business, goes. My bad. My bad. Get your parents to sign a release form to play with the adults. That's a good one. That's a fucking good one, kiddo. Enter alliance, workers at the crossroads, Malinovism, Arcasian capitalism. Government backs rural development. First lady gives speech. Yeah, I also backed my wife too. I backed my wife and some fucking dude was being an asshole. Talk about M words. Yay, the Phillies win. The Phillies win, chat. The Phillies, they win. They didn't lose. That's a victory. Yay. It's happening. It's all happening. Also, everybody keeps telling me to get Arc. Raiders, too. Van Horten is playing with fire. Nah. All right. Trade talks. Sordland's one flight from Holsord to Rocklovitz took approximately 5 hours despite heavy turbulence. I managed to sleep a little. Simon, David, and I landed at the international airport, the capital city of wheelin. Our aim here was to finalize the trade deal drafted between Sordland and wheelin. Our plane landed and the door opened. The sun blinded me for a moment. I stepped outside. I saw soldiers line up on either side of the red carpet. There must have been at least 100 of them. Marching band started playing and the soldiers immediately saluted. Okay, I need to read this. I tried, but the times didn't line up. Oh, was Singy playing past your bedtime? Goddamn, kidda with some fucking daggers today. Kidda with some daggers. Kidda with daggers. Oh boy. I saw soldiers line up on either side of the red carpet. There must have been at least 100 of them. Marching bands started playing, and the soldiers immediately saluted me. Salute the soldiers. Proceed to the red carpet without any gestures. I'm not going to salute the soldiers. That's what Trump did to fucking North Korea. Gold abandoned me in my time of need Saturday. This is nothing. Wait, in Marvel Rivals? Did Gold not heal you? I would never do that, kid. Yeah, it's because you're based, Lemon. No IRL? Oh. At the bottom of the stairs, Victor Smolik was waiting for me. Next to the military jeep with a few shoulders by his side, there were a few reporters on the edge of the crowd waiting with their cameras. He was a tall man, almost as tall as me. He was wearing large sunglasses, a regular suit, contrasting with the military attire everyone else in the field. I got electrocuted, Gold. It's not my fault your old boss made the entire subframe hot. Your coolant is flush is not. Oh, kidda, did they fix your car? Mr. President, welcome to Rocklovitz. He immediately motioned for an embrace. We hugged and many cameras went off at the same time. He turned around for a couple of additional poses. No, I fixed it. Nice. Nice, kidda. I see you, Mr. President. Pull him aside for a couple of more poses yourself. Thank you for inviting us. Wouldn't trust Gold with car advice. He set himself on fire and ripped his arm off the other day. This is true. This is true. Gold claims that them working on the car, that they'll get it done in no time, and it's been like 3 months. 3 months, Gold? I've never set myself on fire. I mean, have you really worked on a car if you haven't set yourself on fire? With another tune from the marching band, we boarded the military jet. He sat in the driver's seat, and I sat next to him. I started speeding up. The soldiers saluted again. Victor saluted back. Salute the soldiers, do nothing. Both our security details started following us immediately, along with a team of reporters. We will first go to the city center and see the unveiling of a statue. Whose statue? Sounds exciting. I'd rather not waste time. Let's get straight to business. Mr. President, I must insist. Also, I'm in the driver's seat. Kept making small talk about the flight and the weather as we made our way towards the city center. On almost every corner, there were reporters taking photos of us. Aside from them, though, the streets seemed completely empty. Is Rockovitz always this empty? Is this all a big photo op for you? How long is this going to take? I had this part of the city closed down because of your visit so that you can enjoy the city in peace. There we are. We arrived at the center in the middle of a large plaza. There was a covered statue. Large crowds of people were gathered behind fences, waving both Sordland and wheelin flags. Victor waved back at them. My people have been very supportive of this visit, Mr. President. I'm sure you are delighted to see them. I need to see what wheelin is. Connection. Factions, legislative, judiciary, old guard, reformist, oligarchs. Fuck the oligarchs. Fuck them. Codex. Former President Party leaders, Supreme others. History. Theology. Maximism. Philosophical movement rooted in modernist ideals. Melanivism. Communist theory. Communist theory. Okay. Okay, locations. Countries. What the fuck? Republic of Wheelin. Is there a republic? Governed by Wasic Nationalist Party. Oh. Of Nurist Socialism? Nationalist Party of Nurist Socialism. Is this a Nazi? Is this a Nazi country? Is this a Nazi country? They're like mostly fine. Well, mostly fine implies that they're a little bit not fine. Huh. Bluds socialism, a distinct socialist framework developed by Emmerich Hegel, rooted in but deliberately divergent from Leon Malniev. Shavatanguinia's Malevism. Orthodox Malinism concentrates revolutionary authority in the vanguard party of the proletariat. Valgus Lenin socialism rejects single-party centralism in favor of decentralized structure built on labor union federations and layered in people's assemblies. It's theoretical. This is the most leftist game ever. There's so much fucking reading, chat. There's so much reading. Fuck, is this a Nazi party? Man came close to the fence and started yelling at Victor. With my little bit of knowledge of the Wasic language, I understood the words Victor and murderer. Almost instantaneously, two soldiers came up from behind the man and he was taken away. How many times is he going to ask if it's a Nazi party? Well, I'm like trying to figure it out. This is how my brain works. I just keep asking questions until I find the answer. Should I do a poll? I mean, could. I don't know if chatters know. Thankfully, the sun is out today. Will be a good day for the reveal. I see that you know how to handle dissonance. Very good. What happened to the man who was protesting you? Oh, which man? That one in the crowd? Don't worry about the details. He must have been a troubled fellow. Let's focus on the event. Would the poll be for Nazi, yes, no, or Nazi? Over, under 20? Can't identify Nazis. Well, it said it was a nationalist party, but is it a nationalist party as in a liberation party? Or is it a nationalist party in the Nationalist Socialist Party? I don't think Ghost is Nazi, but I'm not sure. It was just the name. It was just the name. Chat. It's the name. Look at the name. Nationalist Party of Nurist Socialism. Nationalism is only acceptable in an occupied or oppressed nation. Also, sporting events. But that's what I'm saying. Like, are they nationalists from liberation? Must be socialist then? Debatable. Sports? Wait, sports? You're not allowed to be a nationalist? It's in the name. You should grok it. Oh, I should grok it. We should grok it, chat. We should grok it. We should look at the numbers. Give me the numbers. Civil War, which lasted until 1940, wreaked havoc across wheelin, leading to widespread starvation, disease, and massive refugee crisis. Despite the formal end of the conflict in 1940, reestablishment of the Republic, Arcasian troops were withdrawn. Yeah, they're the socialist. They're Socialist Liberation Party. They defeated the capitalist Arcasians. United Kantana then established a peacekeeping brigade in 1937 in Rocklovitz, which remained until 1943. The pro-chase period, despite being rich in natural resources like oil and diamonds, Wheelin is considered to have one of the weakest economies in Eastern Maricopa. Reject nationalism, embrace tribalism. Famously, all parties with socialist in name have been socialist. Yeah, obviously. Took our places in front of the statue with a drum while the statue of Victor Smolik was uncovered. It was a fairly good likeness, albeit... Yeah, so me questioning if they were fucking Nazis was a good fucking question. Jerks. Y'all are making me... Y'all are fucking gaslighting me, you sons of bitches. Fairly good likeness, albeit more muscular than the real Victor. He was wearing a cloak and holding a sword in his hand. It wasn't about whether the question was good. It was how many times you asked. I was hoping for some fucking input. God forbid I asked for some input from chat. Then again, y'all probably have never played this game. Cash, where's the ghost as a Nazi poll? That's a crazy chat message. You aren't serious enough for this ghost? I'm very serious. Does it count another tally towards the question? We're up to 6. Jesus Christ. I kind of wish that I had a setup where, like Hassan has, where like his mods can do stuff in his OBS and whatnot. And then you guys could just come up with like ghost questions if they're Nazis tally. If I wasn't trying, you know what? Let me stop right there. Sometimes things are inside thoughts. I didn't feel like hitting backspace. Just keep moving forward, okay-ish. Just keep moving forward. You're Andrew Yang. I was dying when Haas put McNeff thingy up. Dude, oh my God. Oh my God. The fucking McNeff thing, I was losing it. I was losing it. If someone has the clip, I'll show it. But basically, Hassan and Will Neff, his best friend, were watching a Lego clip or a summary of the Legos thing. And the guys that are the corporate like CEOs and leaders, their last names are McNeff. So Hassan was running with it. Oh, these Neff characters are bad. So Haas put up a thing on the screen saying, don't trust a Neff, except it said Mick, like right next to McNeff, and it was really, really small. It was fucking hysterical. It was so goddamn funny. And this was post Knicks win that they were at. Size 4 mixed size 30 Neff. Yeah. What auto? Are you mad that I described it and I didn't just show you all? Shit, I don't know who I'm gonna lurk in. I guess I'll lurk in Addy's stream. Excellent statue, very lifelike. What do you think, Mr. Shollick? I don't have time for these games. Let's get straight to business. Yes, it's very good, very lifelike. Our artists can do better in Sordland. Don't worry, we will. Join me for a walk. I followed him through the streets. At every corner, and more photos were taken. We stopped in front of a pastry vendor on the street. Give me 2 strudels. Make Sordland great again. I'm trying, Otto, but this guy keeps showing me a fucking statue of himself. The man behind the stand smiled and gave us 2 strudels. We're going to pay for it. Pay the street vendor. Wait for him to pay the street vendor. Why is it getting worse every month? Because it takes a little bit of time for me to get shit organized. You son of a bitch. Put my hand on my wallet and brought up some money to give to the vendor. Hold up, your money doesn't count here. I got this. He handed the money to the street vendor with a huge smile on his face. The cameras flashed again. Afterwards, we walked a short distance to the palace. Passing the gates, we made our way into the main building. Chat, my mommy's calling me. Give me a second. Mommy's calling me. Give me a second. Sorry for the flash.
You know what's funny? All of you guys are men. You guys have fun.
Chat. My mom says hi back. All right, I'm back, chat.
Baggy shorts.
Hi, Yake. Hi, Yale.
Yo, I'm caked, bro. Look at my butt in these pants. This is
Kidda doesn't stream yet. Jake is caked. Everyone gets a shout out. Anyway, I'm back. I'm back, chat. Let's do this shit. Passing the gates, we made our way into the main building, made from ivory. Made from ivory-colored stones. The old guard towers flanked the magnificent structure from both sides. Also, Jake, how was your 24-hour stream? That was cool. Jake saving chat with a flashbang emote. Do I need to change that, chat? Do I need to change my hiding secrets page? Is that white too flashbanging for you? Do you guys not like that? What color do you want it to be? Yes? What color do you want it to be? Purple? Well, that's my BRB stream. That's my BRB one. It was fun, super difficult to be awake for 28 hours. I'm too old for this. Chat, Jake just got to 2,000 followers and he did a 24-hour stream. The inside of the palace was very spacious with a very large chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Grand staircases made from the same ivory stone had red carpets on them. On the upper levels, guards stood wearing the traditional outfits of the old Wazak kingdom. We finally reached the office of the president of wheelin. Door closed behind us. I looked around at the golden ornaments on the walls and the various jewel-encrusted artifacts. As it was customary in whaling, we sat down on the carpet. Now we can talk about our trade deal. Going to Jake's stream is realizing life can be better. Wow. Thanks, Otto. I appreciate it. You fucking dick. I nodded, but before that, he clapped his hands twice. Bring the Keisha. Two assistants immediately entered the room carrying a large ornamental Keisha, the well-known smoking instrument originating from Wayland. They immediately lit it up, and the room was filled with the smell of tobacco. Victor inhaled the smoke and handed me the Keisha. I don't smoke. I'll partake, I guess. Okay, at least Otto shows up here. True. But when Otto shows up here, he complains about how awful the stream is. He does do that. So that has to be acknowledged. Praise for Jakey Poo in singing collab. Wait. A Yale in singing collab? My insomnia will be cured? Want me to ban them? No, we don't ban chatters. We time them out. Because we share with too many other streamers. And if we ban people, it shows up bad. I can't be timed out. Okay, now you can time out Auto. You can time out Auto for like 30 seconds. Especially for saying I can't be timed out. It's probably the highest quality tobacco I had ever smoked. I handed it back. He took another puff, filling the room with more smoke. So, Mr. President, that's too long. Can I call you Anton? For my official title. Sure. Anton? Tell me, what do you really think about Rumberg? Barking dog doesn't bite. They are a threat to the region. They can go to hell. Not much in particular like any other country. They have their needs and their own agenda. Auto-target practice fellatio. Fact. Yes, they do, but their ambitions are over wheelin and Sordland. You must be careful, Anton. I assure you their time will come. Also, what does this map look like? Okay, Sordland's here. Whelin's here. This is Rumberg. Okay, so Wheelin and Rumberg share a border with me. Okay. Okay. I assure you their time will come in due time. Are you planning something? Regardless, I would rather prevent further conflict in the region. You know as well as I do, Anton, they are coming whether we like it or not. They are the aggressor, not us. And now I need to solve problems they are creating for me. What is it? Clapped his hands again. Two assistants came into the room with a map of the border regions between Wheelin and Sordland. He pointed at the border. Look. Bloods and their so-called BFF. Oh, God. I love how they put asterisk on BFF. Why does a bigger country not eat the smaller ones? Because that's not how that works, Otto. You can't do that. Causing problems for me in the region. They are getting increasingly dangerous with Rumberg's active support. I know that they are a problem for you as well. I will not allow these traitors to exist within my borders, so I will hit them with all the might of Wheelin. These terrorists need to be destroyed. I will cut all their supplies from Rumberg and trap them on the mountains. I call it Operation Bear Trap. I don't support any military action this close to our border. What do you want from me? He grinned and lay back on a large pillow behind him. Here's the deal. I will give you objectively the best trade deal in the region. You will give me your assistance crushing the terrorists on both of our borders. I need specifics. Absolutely not. I won't meddle in Whelin's military interventions. Two birds, one stone. Specifics! Why don't the many simply eat the few? Kind of based, Jolly. Kind of based. Sure. My spies have infiltrated BFF cells and they found caches of KA-74s. We traced them back to Rumberg. This alone justifies my retaliation to protect my country. First of all, we also found that similar shipments are going to Sordland. Rumberg is trying to unite BFF forces in both of our countries. However, the main problem is the border security between our nations. BFF militants have been using the mountains between Sordland and Wheelin to escape justice in both of our countries. If we don't act and trap them in those mountains, they will keep replenishing their forces in both of our countries and keep waging war against our citizens. Yes, Anton, you see, this is not just Whelin's problem. Let's take a step back and talk about what you will get in return. I propose you are a no-tariff agreement, co-investment projects in oil. In exchange, we will offer you a competitive new oil price aligned with the latest market dynamics, and in turn, you'll aid me in dismantling the armed militants in my country. You know that as long as they use the mountains in Wheelin as a base, Sordland and Lesbia will equally suffer. This is the interest of the whole region. I want to eat more few than you guys. Okay, you can do that, Otto. The less few there are, the better. I'm eating Popeyes. I think I've had Popeyes once, and I think I was in Guam. Are the few code for Mozzie sticks or yes? Yes, Mozzie sticks. You know, as long as these mountains, Sordland and Lesbia will equally suffer, this is the interest of the whole region. Are you suggesting we pay a higher rate than usual? What kind of support do you need from me? Can't Wheelin handle it by themselves? There might be international ramifications. Indeed, there are additional expenses emerging with our oil sector. Consider it a modest surcharge or token of our potential friendship. The question is, you also want Wheelin as your friend. What I seek from you in reciprocation for this advantageous collaboration is merely a cooperative military endeavor involving our forces against the BFF. Took a moment to think about it. Deal minus one government budget. No deal. It's too risky. I'm afraid I can't accept. Let's negotiate Sordland's contribution in this operation. All right, ate my tacos. I think I'm going to go to the park. I don't feel like going home. Nice. Go enjoy the park. Go enjoy the sun. I'm assuming there's sun in your area at the moment. Maybe you'll find a new date, Cat. You are a tough one, Anton. Never say yes to the first offer, chat. Never say yes to the first offer. No, I wouldn't offer anything else, but I like you. Here's my final offer. When the operation starts with or without you, there will be stragglers trying to cross into Sordland. We just want you to support the operation if you do not join. Stop the terrorists from fleeing into your country, and you will have your deal. Simple, isn't it? What do you think? No deal, I'm afraid I can't accept. Or deal. I feel like I should take this deal because then they'll be our ally against Rumberg. If and when Rumberg tries to invade. Are the terrorists bad people? I'm pretty sure they're separatists. Actually, let's look at some shit. Let's look at some shit. I mean, this guy gave you real nice tobacco. This is true. Corporation, governmental, political parties, Bloodish Freedom Party. Banned from politics 33 for its alleged connection to Bloodish Freedom Front. Bloodish Freedom Front is Bloodish militant and political organization based in Bloodish regions of Sordland and wheelin. BFS has been involved in an armed conflict with the Sordland state with an aim of achieving an independent Bloodish state. They were created in protest against Sordland's oppression of the Bloodish people and heavily promoted Bloodish nationalism among their... Okay, they might be a little bit of Nazis. No, I guess they're liberation, or they seem to be liberation. I'm only like half paying attention. The way our current government negotiates and bought you lunch, or yes, true. Maybe so, but food cart place is usually the happening place to be. So if I didn't have any luck there, I think it's probably a miss tonight. Oh, Noxy question 7. Hi B, right on time. Nice, nice. B, I do the same thing too. I do the same thing too. I do the same thing as every other streamer because Twitch makes us run ads. I run 3 minutes of ads every hour to avoid pre-roll ads for any new viewers for an hour. You can avoid the ads by paying $5.99 for a subscription or get lucky and get gifted a sub. Or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos to your favorite streamer. Hopefully it's me. If it's not me, then hopefully it's one of my friends. But here comes the 3-minute ad break now. Hi Ghost. Hi B. How are you? I feel like, Okayish, thank you for the resubscribe. Thank you. Chat, go follow Okayish. As much as a headache as she is, she's a pretty cool person. I also have Okayish merch
Damn
too.
it, I wish I had a fucking... Oh, that's really annoying.
A headache? Yes, a headache,
I
Okayish.
wish I had held on to my thing.
Did you not? Were you not at the stream on Friday? Or have you not paid attention to the messages that you've been saying? And the clips that you've been clipping of me? I told you I was sweating. Also, that clip sucked. Can I have another? Chat, I feel like I can't accept this deal. Because he's going to fuck those people up. It's unfortunate. I thought we could be friends, but he decided to leave wheelin to fend for itself. Such a shame. I'm sure a powerful leader like Soul would have accepted this great offer without a doubt. My assistants will show you the way. Goodbye. Dude, no more. No more. Fuck. God damn it, Chad. I wanted to continue the conversation. I wasn't done negotiating. I returned to Sordland immediately. I felt relieved to be back in Holsworth. Yeah, it also seemed like the dude was just... It seemed like the dude was literally just, like, parading me around for photo ops. I didn't feel good. ATO brokers for peace amidst Rizian claims lesbian meditates. CSP asserts sovereignty with PMC ban. Katanan Security Pact has outlawed private military companies prioritizing state-regulated forces and, as a secondary measure, citizen militias and revolutionaries to uphold security within its territories. Based. By distinguishing between private German military operations and responsibilities of the state towards the citizens, the decision highlights the ideological differences from the Arcasian Treaty Organization. Base. Speech of the President on reforms. Came to the Grand National Assembly of Sordland to deliver a speech regarding the new constitution and asked for the support of the assembly before the upcoming vote. Chat, this is me on the bully pulpit to basically tell the people, put pressure on your fucking representatives. Ban fondue? Who's fondue? Wait, the food fondue? What the fuck's wrong with you, Otto? I walked quickly through the quarters, giving my greetings to the people on my way towards the parliamentary hall. When I entered the hall, the assembly was in complete chaos, with shouting and cursing between the parties. There was a heavy argument about a proposal made by MP from NFP. What's NFP again? National Front. Nationalist ultra-conservative political party in Sordland. Yeah, they're Nazis. They're Nazis. Gloria was shouting from her seat at the center of the hall as she hit the gavel 3 times, with each strike heavier than the one before. 2 bourgeois. Melted cheese is bourgeois. I saw Kasera Kibbener standing up from his seat and shouting towards the members of the PFJP. Mr. Kibbener, calm yourself, show respect to the procedures of this assembly. Despite her efforts, the argument continued for a couple of minutes before everybody took back to their seats and finally went quiet. Mr. Kibbener, next time when I tell you to do so, either take your seat or leave the hall, so we can proceed with the procedures of this assembly and continue our duties. Some MPs from NFP side shouted back at her in protest. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, if you allow me to continue. Auto melted cheese on bread is bourgeois. Fellatio. Grilled cheese is bourgeois. We have the president here with us today. He asked to give an important announcement. The assembly fell silent. You have the floor, Mr. President. Walk to the stand as loud clapping started from the USP side. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable members of the assembly, brothers and sisters. See, I feel like I need to keep starting with brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, I'm here today to raise important questions regarding our outdated constitution. The Supreme Court holds too much power. Our election threshold has harmed our democracy more than anything. Perhaps it's not expected of me to say this, but the president holds too much authority. Our elected assembly has always been overshadowed. A true proletariat eats cold cheese and bread. Well, that's me, baby. That's what I do. Our elected assembly has always been overshadowed by the executive and designated judiciary branches in Sordland. The Grand National Assembly must be able to exercise its job properly and without obstruction. However, our current constitution fails to guarantee this. I continued. Therefore, we propose changes to the constitution to prepare Sordland for a more democratic era. Must finally rewrite the constitution of Seoul and break our chains of the past. I call everyone to stand by us to make historic changes to our constitution and bring it to the standards of today's world. That's a good one. Applause came from USP and PFJP. Time to get therapized, BRB. Kid, I hope you have a productive therapy session. We'll break the Supreme Court's authority over the constitutional changes. We will rebalance the branches of government to ensure a more democratic process. I focused on unity, change, peace. Change. Good luck, have fun, don't die. Oh my God, Singy. Jesus Christ. We must not be afraid of change. The world is changing and Sordland needs the change it has earned after years of stolism in the last decades. We'll rewrite the old and make a constitution that would reflect the will of the people and open the way for democratic Sordland. We will make Sordland great again? Chat. Chat, do I say the line? Someone run a poll. Someone run a poll. Do I say the line? Chat, do I say the line? Chat, 1 minute. 1 minute. Oh, someone did it already. Just go say it. No. Wait, that's not a real poll. That's a bad poll. God damn it. That's got to be okay as doing that poll. You're a bad poll. I'm not Polish. So I can't be a bad poll. Okay, apparently I'm not saying it. Apparently I'm not saying, despite the fact that Otto has been wanting me to fucking say it for a while. Otto literally said it earlier. Otto literally said it earlier. Say it, you coward. Wait, do you want me to say it or do you not want me to say it? Which one is it? Do you want me to say it or do you not want me to say it? Why are you letting the poll be the boss of you? Because y'all are here for me. Y'all are here because I'm being democratic with this. I'm just being the headache you expect from me. God damn it. Fuck it, I'm saying it. Fuck it, I'm saying it. Fuck it, I'm saying it. Chat, do you get the reference? Chat, do you get the reference? We'll make Sordland great again. It's a Hassan clip. It's a Hassan clip when he goes, that Weasley little fucking liar. That little fucking liar. That Weasley little liar. Forlow! Welcome in. Welcome in from the rain.
The New York. I know that, and he's addressed it. And then that would like bringing up Jolt coin from.
Shit. Damn it, I don't have that clip. Late loaf? Better late than never. Is this it? Is this it, chat? I think this is it.
Fucking trend from way back when, right? That'd be the same stuff. Okay, so.
Nowadays is going really far.
Or your train posting beforehand, I was saying your arguments resemble trains. Now I'm saying it. You're fucking train washed, brother.
All right. Actually, I think he also said, fuck it, I'm saying it when he said the 9/11 clip too. Just as I was about to continue speaking, Gloria Tori interrupted me. Mr. President, with all due respect, I believe Sordland is already democratic. Please don't interrupt me. I'm not finished yet, Mrs. Tori. We both know that our Constitution is flawed. You don't believe that. Tarkin's soul and his efforts cannot be ignored. We must keep following the path he defined for the Sordish people. I'm sure the honorable members of the USP will see that the president is acting rash by allying with opposition to destroy the culture of soulism and that established Sordland. That was the extent of my quick note. Thank you. The president has the floor. That was disrespectful, Mrs. Speaker. Please don't try to sabotage my speak. We're not here to destroy soulism nor our cultural values. Who are you trying to provoke, Mrs. Tori? USP is behind me. I'll act as if that didn't happen. May Ghost awaken the people and help them see the evil doings of Sordland and USP. Singing, I am the USP. Please continue your speech, Mr. President. I took a breath and continued. Ladies and gentlemen of the assembly, we must set aside our differences. It is time to make a new constitution together. I ask everyone to think clearly about our current situation and join us for change. It's time to make a new constitution together. Be a part of the new era of Sordland. Join us and vote for our proposal. I ask everyone to support us in the upcoming vote. Ladies and gentlemen, I demand your votes. Be part of a new era in Sordland. Join us and vote for our proposal. Let's write the future together. I will address all the problems of the past in my proposal. USP will change and lead Sordland into the future. USP will change and lead Sordland in the future. Salute the crowd. Finish with a poem. Decided to read a poem before I ended my speech. There's destiny above destiny. There's victory growing with every morning. There's victory growing with every morning. There's a revolution that's coming. There is God beyond my existence or non-existence. There is my country beyond everything, my beloved. There's a revolution that's coming. There are songs to be sung in affection of our victories. There's a spring that blossoms out of the graves of our fallen. There is evil that tortures and tears me not. No. There's a spring that blossoms out of the graves of our fallen. Do not doubt the one. There's a decision coming from the heavens. What? Fear not when the dark falls. There is an artist painting the sun. Do not dare to surrender. There is victory that grows with defeat. Fear not when the dark falls. There's an artist painting the sun. Beyond the next morning, there is a victory waiting to be won. The assembly roared with all kinds of different reactions. Some applause came from PFJP and USP seats. Most of the others started to make loud noises again. Thank you for your speech, Mr. President. I walked back to my seat as many MPs asked to speak. Prince Richter was among them. Yes, Mr. Richter. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to thank Mr. President for his speech. We, the People's Freedom of Justice and Justice Party, stand in agreement with the need for a more democratic constitution. I would like to thank the ladies and gentlemen of the United Sordland Party for their more open attitude compared to past years. As long as Mr. President's words prove not to be just words, we will be behind this much needed movement for change. We welcome this attempt. I ask Mr. President to share the final contents of this proposal as soon as possible. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Suddenly, Kasara Kibbener started yelling from his seat. The president must have lost his mind to cooperate with the likes of you, Mr. Richter. You and PFJP are nothing but puppets of Western interest. What? Order. Madam Speaker, I know you're in agreement with me as well. Don't stand idly there while this administration is making deals with snakes that undermine the integrity of... Order, Mr. Kibbener. How many times do I need to say you are speaking out of... I demand to speak. Gloria gave him a stare. She looked annoyed. Very well, Mr. Kibbener. Go ahead. Mr. President. He looked directly at me. The nationalist movement does not agree with their priorities, nor the way you're trying to implement them. The National Front Party will not stand with you on the new Constitution. Let it be known that NFP's concerns are not included in the so-called democratic reforms. Thus, Mr. President has no right to claim them as such. We will stand on our ground against any attempt to bring down our established political culture and national values. Thank you. Kasara went back to his seat, but the chaos in the assembly continued. Asked to speak. I'm gonna fucking speak. I'm gonna fucking speak. I asked to speak. Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Kibbener, I just want to thank everybody for their comments. Oh, we are gonna undress this motherfucker. We're doing this shit, chat. I looked at him. It is you who shouldn't use the word democratic when you want a more centralized government. We are not specifically cooperating with someone, but everyone. We ask that you also join us. I'm saddened to hear about your opposite stance. Oh. It is you who shouldn't use the word democratic when you want a more centralized government. That's a good line. We're not specifically cooperating with someone, but everyone. We ask that you also join us. Shit. The first one's a good one. The first one's a good one. See, this is like a fucking lib thing. Okay, I finished my client work. I'm going back to rot now. Welcome to the rot, okay-ish. I'm saddened to hear about your opposite stance. I'm going to say this, because we need as many votes as possible. We're not specifically cooperating with someone, but everyone, we ask that you also join us. No, I mean in bed. I will be lurking. Oh. Okay-ish, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Oh, also, chat, I got a message from a graphic designer. And I once again was very patient with them. I was very patient with them and just explained like, hey, I'm not interested in graphic design. And they continued to say, hey, just look at my stuff. And then they're like, what's your interest? I may be able to like come up with ideas. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Like, I don't have the money to do it. For like one spamming chats. No, it was in Discord. It was in Discord. They actually came from Nomar's Discord. But they said it used to happen way more often. It used to happen way more often when I was first starting stream. But that's the first one I've gotten in a while. And I'm always like very polite with them. I always say like, hey, I know this is hard, but I wish you the best. I hope that your art can one day pay for your bills and stuff like that. But I'm not currently interested. He watched as he slouched on his seat, legs crossed. Oh, we got him. Oh, we got him on that one, chat. Do not stand against change. Be part of it, Mr. Kibner. We could do much more together. Don't you dare stand against us. Otherwise, know that the NFP is guaranteed to be history. I respect your opinion. We don't need you. Do not stand against change. Be a part of it, Mr. Kibner. We can do much more together. Don't you dare stand against us. Otherwise, know that the NFP is guaranteed to be history. Okay, I like that one. I like that one. I expect your support in the upcoming vote, Mr. Kibner. You will bring change regardless of your support. Your times have passed, Mr. Kibner. We will bring change regardless of your support. Like, I get that the people who would need graphic design are the ones just starting, but like also I feel like they're also the ones who are the least likely to be willing to spend money like that for something for stream. Yeah, that, and the other thing is I feel like there's some exploitation and exploiting like smaller streamers and stuff. Like, it doesn't make sense to spend custom art money if you're averaging 2 viewers. Yes and no. Yes and no. If you have the money, which makes it significantly easier to start streams and stuff like that, and you're not artistic at all, and you're not like, you don't want like a streamlined stream like mine is, then it kind of makes sense. And if you want like a lot of overlays and stuff, that kind of makes sense. But I get what you're saying. We'll bring change regardless of support. Gloria looked at me as to see if I'd finish my response. Mr. Richter. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I looked at him. Thank you for your nice words. We'd like to have cooperation between our parties. Rest assured your concerns will be addressed. I'm going to say thank you for your nice words. But like, from a standpoint of mental commitment or whatever, like, I haven't mentally invested in my stream enough at that point to fiscally invest. That's fair. I also, someone that's kind of in the ghost lore of streaming, straight up told me that streaming was like their only plan. And they had a stretch where they were pretty good and they had some good numbers and stuff, but they weren't like, they didn't quite have it, whatever it is. Expect your support, Mr. Richter. We can do much more together. Thank you for your support. We are looking forward to work with PFJP. I welcome your positive attitude. You can just name me if you're going to talk about me. I would have, okay-ish. What would you like to me to see if I finish my response? Thank you, Mrs. Speaker. I got up from my seat and started my walk towards the exit. Welcome back to the Net Ghost Rider broadcast live from the roof of Catherine's car. You're sitting on the roof of your car? You're sitting on the roof of your car? Oh, also, Vorlo, thank you for the follow. I thought you were following earlier. All right. Yes. It's my favorite place to be. Nice. So you're dressed up. You're dressed to the nines, sitting on the roof of your car. So is this like your boss queen moment? Because it feels pretty boss queen-ish. MPs kept shouting and responding to each other, creating a loud mess where nothing was legible. Order, this topic is finished. We are moving on to the next topic. Correct. Nice. I slowly left the hall. The shouting can be heard from every corridor of the Grand National Assembly. If I sat on the roof of my car, I would no longer have a roof. I could technically sit on the roof of my car because the roof of my car is glass. Ideal full kind of boss queen. Nice. Lucian Galan reported that so far they have been able to get in total 121 signatures behind the proposal. Efforts are underway to increase the support and reach out to the necessary members to reach 150. Okay, we have 121. That's good. Good. Good speech. I could sit on it. I could just end up sitting on the seat as well. Our elected assembly has always been overshadowed. Geopolitico. Walker warns Vogslandian Navy over Helgeland dispute. Tensions between Agnolia and Vogsland keeps climbing. The latest addition in the escalations happened yesterday on Vogslovian channel when Vogsladian ships started advancing on the perimeter around the island. According to Agnolian sources, yesterday in the morning, Agnolian battleship Van Gilben had intercepted an Vogslandian destroyer and warned them to move out of Agnolian waters. On to the next day, chat. Wealth of nations. Oh, boy. Definitely had 2 people up here at once. I'm trying to think if I've ever done 3 or not. That's a sturdy roof. I mean, I guess if you have a SUV, it's probably... you can pull it off. Also, I do love sitting in beds of trucks and stuff. Van Horn wins elections. General elections held in Agnolia this week had resulted in the victory of the nearest Democratic Union of Agnolia for the second time, with its leader, Martin Van Horten, continuing his duties as Prime Minister. Governor Braun proposes dividing up communities in Bergia. Sitting in a truck bed is so much fun. Yeah. To address the issue, the governor has proposed dividing the communities and resettling Sordish and Bloodish people to achieve cultural balance in the special zone. Governor believes this approach will limit the influence of BFF and reduce the risk of secessionist activities in the region. I have a Saturn view. Things a tank. Oh. General staffers gather. The general staff is convening the Ministry of Defense today to assess the security concerns of Sordland. More than 20 high-ranking officers were in attendance and discussed several war plans, internal stability of the nation, and overall state of the armed forces. Privatization plan proposal? Fuck no. The Ministry of Health has finished a privatization proposal plan in order to increase the resources of the health system and increase the quality of service through small-scale market competition. Additionally, the ministry's report highlighted the weaknesses. Yeah, we're not doing that shit. Van Horten wins the election. Yeah, we're not privatizing healthcare. Requested meeting of Josef Lancia. I arrived at the cubic building that housed most of the military command that resided in Holsword. The gray and brutalist structure looked daunting. Never liked this building. It always made me feel like I was standing under the concrete foot of a giant getting ready to crush me. It made me feel small, and I never quite got used to the feeling even after this many years. At the entrance, I was greeted by Josef and his military entourage of young officers. Welcome to the Ministry of Defense, Mr. President. Let's go to my office. We walked from corridor to corridor to reach the office. On the way, we were met with high-ranking officers as well as privates. Every time one of these soldiers saw me, they stopped and saluted me. When we finally arrived at Josef's office, His entourage saluted us and left. He closed the door and took a seat. Should I put Boss Queen pictures in the Ghost Court? You can, if you would like. But you don't have to. So I'm gonna be real. I've heard nothing but terrible things about Saturn, but I always had a sweet spot for them because I was into space stuff as a kid and thought they were rare. I always liked Saturn ions, if I'm gonna be honest. Whereas Valkyrie usually partakes in any military meetings. This must be something serious, especially since you invited me here. Let's begin. What is the matter? Well, did I know is because nobody bought them? Hey, didn't know any different. Was Saturn GM? Leaned back and interlocked his hands. The situation with Rumberg is getting worse, and our lack of funding in the military means that we would fight for survival in a war scenario. The Kruger fortification line and construction should help us in the defense of the mountainous and hilly provinces, and at worst case, delay a potential advance. Has 170,000 miles, so it's definitely had its fair share of issues lately, but 20-year-old car, it's doing amazing. Nice. Our soldiers are surely better motivated than theirs. We will defend our country. What are options in improving the situation? I'll make sure it won't come to that. Not everything might be up to us, sir. The recent military partnership we have signed with Agnolia includes a mutual defense clause. In case of conflict, we will be obliged to come to each other's aid. In case of Rumberg invasion, they will come for help. You think their support would be enough to hold the line? Is it a disgrace that we have to rely on other nations? They're supposed to go well over 200k. They're generally really reliable. Huh. I don't think so. Mr. President, we need stronger allies. Sure, Agnolia is better than nothing, but we must look further. Lesbia or Bogsland are options, in my opinion. You really think that is absolutely necessary? Advice noted. I'll bring it up to David. Sordland stands alone as always. Yosef, we won't rely on help from anyone else. Advice noted. I'll bring it up to David. Any deterrence should force them to think twice. Yosef cleared his throat. Let's move on to our main topic. Mandatory conscription law has become a matter of discussion, and we need to strike a decision whether to keep it or remove it. The facts are that the conscription gives us a large reservist pool that can cover a larger front line, but these troops lack the morale and quality to be offensive elements. My argument would be to remove conscription if our military can stand on its own 2 feet without them. If we are going to have strong allies, why do we need conscripts? The one is terrible is Saturn View Hybrid. Looks like it's inline 4 with CVT. That's the biggest problem for the View. Strong knock on the door was heard, and the chief of the armed forces, Valgan Kruger, walked in quickly with a frown. What does it mean, this, Joseph? Why haven't I been invited? What is going on here? You're overstepping and interrupting a personal meeting between me and the president. Valgan deliberated the situation. I see what's going on here. I mean no disrespect, but I'm leading the ground operations. I must be informed of any strategic changes. Valgan has a point. The military needs to be on the same page on any changes. Now that you're here, what is your opinion on the conscription? Minister of Defense is your superior, and so am I. Yeah, okay. I'll say that. The matter is rather simple from my point of view. We kept to our traditional army doctrine is not devoid of disadvantages. However, at the end of the day, Rumberg has a larger army, air force, and navy. Our conscripts will fill the much needed weaknesses we have. Agreed, there's a place for reservists. We don't share the same opinion. This is a modern age and requires a modern army. Throwing bodies at a problem never solved it. Not sure if this is the right approach. This doctrine worked for decades so far. No reason to change it. I think generals have a point. Yeah, throwing bodies at a problem never solved it. Not sure if this is the right approach. We can't have less troops on the front line than the enemy. Not with our current structure focused on mass mobilization. I would ask you to consider. Keep mandatory conscription. We need every single able-bodied to defend the nation. Remove mandatory conscription. It is time to have a professional force willing enlisted soldiers. All right, then we can move on. Let me look over my documents and see if there's anything else of the concern. Just check this folder before looking at me. That's about it. I won't take more of your time, sir. Wow, that was fairly... Huh. That was fairly non-combative meeting. I like it. Ghost, what channel in Discord? Is it art? Does it fall under artfulness? Oh, we should have a touching grass. We should make it touching grass. You could put it in stream discussion since we're talking about it in stream. GM products in general are always going to be suspect. I'll salute him. I saluted and Joseph saluted back. Left the Ministry of Defense and returned to Maroon Palace. What is happening at Addie's stream right now? How many times can you redeem daily Ps? Some of them used Honda engines and transmissions. Interesting. General Staff released a statement. General Staff made a statement about the danger of anti-military stance the current government has taken. The press release highlights the lack of presidential support for the military. The major concern for stability and defense of the nation. The staff opposed the reduction in the active field. Police raid on young swords. Nice. Looking good, Cat. Got a great view, too. Best thing about Saturn is the rings around them. Raid on the pub resulted in the death of 2 young swords. Group of demonstrators led by representatives from the Sordland League of Women marched in Enrica, calling for the gender equality in Sordland's public education system. Women were also among the counter-protesters who argued for the right to keep educating girls separately from boys in order to preserve Sordland tradition. Jesus Christ. That's fucked up. From the oil leaks, right? I didn't realize GM made it specifically compete with the likes of Honda and Toyota. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Body doesn't rust because it's entirely plastic. True. Good gas because the body's plastic. ATO hails nuclear breakthrough. Advanced tech promises. Conrad Naval Base update. United Katana has finished moving its ships in the Conrad Naval Base as per the terms of the new agreement. United Katana military is allowed to refuel, repair, access to the naval base in exchange for providing logistical, financial, and equipment support for Sordland. Governor Braun enacts resettlement order. Oh, I don't like that. Justice system overwhelmed. Decreased funding of the Ministry of Justice. Led to unmanageable backlog. Fuck, I fucked that up. Briefing the current economic situation. So what, she's a little incontinent. She's doing her best. RP Skyen. Oh, dude, I hated those cars. Those cars were horrible. And then they also had the fucking box cars, too. Low-key, a plus for, like, cheap cars if you're willing to deal with old plastic shit. Box car was amazing. Fuck that car. I love my Scion. Fuck that car. Lasted me almost 20 years. I mean, that's impressive. But their sedans were so fucking... Their sedans were interesting looking. The box cars were ugly as fuck. Scion Cube? Yeah. Scion box car was named? Yeah. It was awful. Team gathered a whole sword. Ministry of Economy to go over the current economic situation. Building was constructed in 1892 by Heron Walt, possibly the most famous architect in Sordland. It was a simple and elegant structure with a few of his signature domes spread out over the roof. The XD. Oh, the XD. Oh, Scion Boxcar was named XD. Oh. Scion XA. Oh, I thought it was emotes. Saturn is a box too, but is a lot better looking than the Scion. XD was a mix of the two. XB. I think I had a couple friends that had this Scion sedan. Kia Soul now is very cute. Very cute. I gotta charge my car tomorrow at work. And I have to figure out how I'm gonna do it. Walk through the large bronze doors. 2 assistants led me upstairs to the meeting room. Everyone stood up as I entered the room, buttoning their suits and jackets. Welcome, Mr. President. Please take your seats. It's good to be here. Let's begin. Please take your seats. Everyone took their seats. As you all know, today we'll go over economic status. Let's begin without further ado. Kia Souls are cute until the engine dies at like 100,000. Oof. Only good sign was the BRZ 86. That's just because Toyota didn't want to put their own badge on it during those early years for some reason. The aid we have received from United Cantana has helped us a lot. Although I heard some rumors. There were many people who opposed the decision, especially in the Lotharberg group. Regardless of what they think, the capital will certainly come in handy. We now have another weapon to combat the recession. I would expect nothing less from United Cantana and friends. I'd do whatever it took to end the recession. Let's hope this decision won't come back to haunt us later on. Cute cars underrated. I have a cute car, chat. If you say so, Mr. President. How are we doing in terms of our infrastructure? First months had positive indicators, but the delay of the infrastructure project reversed economic gain. I think cute cars are amazing. Listen, just get something that is energy efficient, in my opinion, because we're all fucking broke, chat. How can we solve the L1 high-speed rail construction issues? The National Business Council isn't happy with the lack of tangible economic improvements at all. I expected a better performance from all of us. Our first investment was meant to be a good first step in the overall plan. Focus on future investments is better as more opportunities are surely on the horizon. Certain individuals will be held accountable for the failures. I'm going to say I expected a better performance from all of us. Our first investment was meant to be a good first step in the overall plan. Not me. I have more than $0 now. I technically do too. Scion, which marketed itself as a young, cool brand trying to make cute cars with like aggressive styling, is ridiculous, and it killed their viability brand. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Hyundai is doing that now. My buddy had a Hyundai back in the day. It was a pretty decent car. Cheap car revitalization. Chat, like fucking Teslas are like half the price. Are like half the price of what I fucking paid. It's kind of ridiculous. Now, my car has way better quality than what they're selling now. But like literally Tesla sends me emails constantly like, hey, buy a new one. Because they have to meet their goals. They have to meet their fucking quarterly goals and shit. Model 3s are shockingly affordable now. Yeah, I paid $67 for mine. But they're like hurting really bad as far as like products going out. That's why they're making them as cheap as possible. Ghost, I saw that. So what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Hyundai is doing a cute car, but it looks sick. My new Kona is like that. Hyundai is also providing legit solid sports cars for some similar prices, so the people who are enticed already have something to buy. Hyundai has good plug-in hybrids. I didn't know you were watching Addy. Yeah, I was. I'm always lurking on somebody's stream, and Addy was the current stream. If I did any kind of commuting on my personal vehicle, I would get one. Good full electrics. Yes, they also have good full electrics. I advise people to do plug-in hybrids because we don't quite have the infrastructure for electric. But I'm very lucky that I can charge at work for free, so it saves me some money. Hi, Cheeky. Ioniq 5 is hot. Yeah, I think that's the car that I saw. Plug-in hybrids are the way, though. Yeah, for now. For now. Used to be sus and suck, but since 15 and making good stuff. I used to be very buy American. And like my family was very buy American. But I think all the other car companies have unionized workforces, with the exception of Tesla. But they will become unionized at some point. Because it's not sustainable. The model's not sustainable to not unionize. No, for real, old 13 Hyundai Accent got stolen because of the shitty ignition problem. Oh, jeez. 80s WRC inspired hatchback. I don't like hatchbacks. I think hatchbacks are... Fox, congratulations on the participation trophy. Anyway, back to the game. From my perspective, we need a bigger cash injection in the economy. David, do you have the stats for our deal with Agnolia? Trade deal with Agnolia has increased our imports and exports by 25% in 1 month, with much more to be expected in the future, but higher prices of Agnolian steel didn't result in trade surplus. Doesn't seem like a positive indicator. That's what we expected. We should look for more trade partners. We can make much more and increase our presence in the region. Hatchbacks are the best cars. I mean, they definitely give space, but I've never been a fan of hatchbacks. Except for wagons. I just want whatever's efficient I can maintain by myself in the driveway. That's fair. One of the big reasons that I got my electric car is because I didn't want like too much maintenance. Because there's a lot less moving parts. Yeah, you can definitely save money by working on it yourself. But when there's like not a lot of moving parts and it's just like 2 electric motors, which from what I understand, they just replace the motors if something goes wrong. 1988 Golf. I don't need another car. Oh, the Golfs were ugly as hell. I agree. Not just the region. We should target for more deals internationally. We should see our improved relations with Agnolia as a stepping stone for expand positive influence. How dare you? The Golfs are amazing. Fuck those cars. I hated those cars. I don't like those cars. And I think it's because I played Need for Speed Underground, which, chat, if y'all know a way how to play Need for Speed Underground, the original one. Oh, I should see if it's on the PlayStation Store. Since the Star Wars Phantom Menace was there. I wonder if Need for Speed Underground is available. Need for Speed Underground playthrough? That's what I'm saying. Toyota Celica was my car. I don't think they have it. Because, I mean, Need for Speed is still, like, a brand that they're trying to make money on. I wish I bought it. Oh, fuck. I wish I bought it on my PlayStation 3. Wait, Ghost, let me check something. I know what you're checking. / unrelated, does anyone know of an easy free Photoshop clone? Photo P is pissing me off. I use GIMP, Singy. Need for Speed is a good Kim Petras song. Wait, is the PS4 Need for Speed basically Need for Speed Underground? GIMP scares me. GIMP's not bad. I wish I worked with it. I wish I worked with GIMP more, and then I wouldn't forget shit. There has been a good Need for Speed for like 15 years. Yeah, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit on PlayStation 3 was pretty good, though. Yeah, this Need for Speed, I looked at this and I didn't think it was very good. I support our foreign initiatives with partners as democratic as Agnolia. I agree aligning ourselves with more democratic countries is good for Sordland. That's besides the point. I didn't ask. It's good for overall trade with other countries as well as democratic countries. Democratic countries generate more trust in general. On a side note, consumer spending has decreased further due to the pessimistic mood caused by our economic issues. That is discouraging. We've done the best we could thus far. I'm confident we will turn this mood around with adaptive projects and solutions. Like Need for Speed Heat, decent amount, but Need for Speed generally fell the fuck off. I love GIMP. I love GIMPs. Other than that, I grew up with Photoshop. I don't feel like relearning image software. GIMP is great. If you struggle to learn it, install PhotoGIMP over GIMP and changes the UI to be essentially a copy of Photoshop, and I had a much easier time using that. That's nice. That's nice. Maybe I'll do that. Because I use GIMP for my thumbnails and stuff. Which I'm going to have to make a thumbnail shortly. Confident we'll turn this mood around with adaptive projects and solutions. Good to hear we'll do better. While I agree that our first attempts were not successful, we still might have economic opportunities left. It isn't good for our reputation that people expected quick solutions. We are running out of time. Would one call the process of using GIMP gimping? You GIMP? I just cut my thumbnail today. Nice. Central Bank has begun working on a bill with the Grand National Assembly to increase our preparedness for future damaging economic incidents. The issues surrounding the energy prices and the imbalance they cause in the market are also of pressing concern. Average citizens and businesses are suffering. After the Central Bank Reinforcement Act, our focus will shift to primarily tackle the energy inflation crisis in the country. We will present a bill about this in the near future if the situation regresses. I'm hand drawing stream assets, PNG tuber, and importing them, but I have to keep using file converters for software I'm using. It's so annoying. Oh, that sucks, Singy. Why is it called a thumbnail? I don't know, Otto. Is this a joke? I'm sure you could Google it. The NBC will also lend support to the analysis and contingency plans regarding the ongoing developments. What's the NBC? National Business Council? Fuck them. I'm looking forward to the further collaboration between our departments and solve upcoming issues. Simon checked his large dossier. Why do I Google it when I can make you Google it? Good. Fine. I'll do it, Otto. You could Google it and share it with the fucking chat. Fucking happy, Otto. Thumbnails reduced size version of a picture or video used to help with recognizing and organizing them, serving the same role as images for normal text index does for words. Etymology. Word thumbnail is a reference for the human thumbnail and alludes to the smaller size of an image comparable to the size of a nail. The earliest use of the compound word thumbnail in literal sense date back to at least 17th century. American Heritage of Dictionary Idioms documents that the figurative expression first appeared in the mid-19th century, referring to a drawing the size of a thumbnail. The word was then used figuratively in both noun and adjective form, and refer to anything small, of course, such as biographical essay. The use of the word thumbnail in the specific context of a computer image as a small graphical representation, as of a larger graphic, a page layout, appears to have been first used in the 1980s. There we go. No, Ghost, my version is the truth. Wikipedia is lying. Invention of the thumbnail was Joseph T. Thumbnail. He was famous British press worker in the 1900s. I'm a primary source. I think Cheeky's right. Cheeky, you and Otto should talk about Chicagoland. You and Otto should talk about Chicagoland together. Why would I type it into Google and get a response when I could just type the same thing in chat and get someone else to also type it and then maybe get a response? Exactly. Pog you Chicagoland. Otto is a Chicagoland evangelist. Sadly, our budget reserves don't look good. We will need to look into whatever we can to increase the budget we have. That's unfortunate. What can we do about it? We should Otto. We'll meet on Zoom at 3 a.m. tonight. Otto has to work tomorrow. Also, your boy has to wake up at 3:45 tomorrow morning. I have to wake up at 3:45 tomorrow morning because I have a very early tea time tomorrow. And I should be done by like middle of the day. I'm very excited. Cubs losing to the Rockies again? Based. Okay, now I'm done with client stuff. Bye. Otto, you're in charge. What? What, Okayish? Okayish. What are you fucking doing? I like the mod gun. Well, you don't have it, Otto. Formulate a plan and present you with the next steps. As per the latest data from the ministry, the recession unfortunately seems to be lingering in some economic areas. No matter the cost, we will have to increase our economic development rates. Otherwise, I'm sad to say we will be doomed. We need these opportunities we have been given. Trade deals and infrastructure improvements always help. Mr. President, I will be very clear. Simon took off his glasses and put them on the table. He looked at me straight in the eye. You already know this, but I don't want to frighten you, but if we are unable to stop this recession, we are heading towards an economic catastrophe that has never been seen before in Sordland. No, in all of Eastern Markapa. Can't even begin to imagine how we could survive that. None of us want to see Sordish people starve while the state is unable to provide for its citizens. Okay, I think I'm going to start meandering home now. Thank you for streaming. No problem, Kat. Thank you for popping in here. And hope you have a good rest of your night if you don't pop in here later. But when I time you out, you'll have to roleplay. Where's Kidda? Did Bugs get her? She had a therapy session. Don't worry, I'm very experienced, Otto. Gold, I'm not giving... Gold, okay, bye. Bye, okay-ish. Have a good bed when you eventually go to bed. Gold, I've heard horror stories of you as a mod. I've heard horror stories of you as a mod. So I don't think that's a good idea. As you said, none of us want to. Don't worry, we'll end in the session, I promise. Any mod can make a mod. That's not true. Cheeky asked for it. Gold, there's a reason that you have lost mod privileges several times. Oh, hi, Derry. How are you? Oh my God, that's Cozy Stream. Otto, that's Cozy Stream. I declare Gold honorary mod. Wait, so Gold has to time out Otto. Cozy Cam, and I had long hair. Maya's always trusted me. I've been a mod there longer than anywhere else. So you're saying I should go to a Maya to verify that you're a good mod? Ghost, I found it. Wait, what'd you find, Singy? Bring back Cozy Cam or we revolt? Otto, you've been saying that for months at this point. The goal once I can explain exactly what happened. Sure. Still in disbelief. Disbelief? But good, how are you? Wait, are you in disbelief over the stream that you miss? I can time out Otto? Yeah, because Otto is target practice for mods. Derry, do you watch that VOD on repeat? Derry, I can't believe you missed it. I literally posted to as many places as possible in hopes that you would see it. There's no use, they're all biased against me. Hey, I'll listen. I'll listen. Did I go well on me that I missed that? I figured. We'll just have to set a new sub goal, Derry. I hope you're all right. He put on his glasses now. There are a few methods we can use to tackle a recession. We have the potential to take on additional debt to flatten the downward turn of the economy. I have an external hard drive my friend gave me full of GameCube games, and the thing used to play them totally illegal. And Need for Speed Underground 2 is on it, along with a fuck ton of other stuff. Oh, shit. That's cool. I don't know how I would play it, Singy. Bro, but that was the sub-goal stream? Yeah, that was it. That was it, Derry. Derry, I can't believe you missed it. I literally posted everywhere. I almost thought about tagging you. Saying maybe I'll somehow drop you the files. Singy, I don't know how I would play it. And also, I'm talking about the original Need for Speed, not Need for Speed 2. However, that would probably work. There are ways to get Underground on PC. Fuck, that's the wrong one. That's not what I wanted. So you can say they have a way to play it as well on the files goes.
The subscriptions that we have.
Oh man, I got excited. You're good, Singy. Well, I'm messing with you.
Here at the Ned Ghost Rider broadcast, we do not condone pirating of any kind of intellectual property at all. There's absolutely no reason that I'm playing this music in the background. But we definitely do not condone that.
He hates us
here on the.
That's
Ned
not what I
Ghost
said.
Broadcast.
I mean, we could definitely play Need for Speed 2
broadcast.
Also, I love how you said totally legal, by the way. Ghost with long hair looking like the prince from Enchanted. That's also, I was really sick at that point. Beck was playing South of Midnight and Gold came in the chat pretty drunk. There was a lot of playfulness in chat, and I kinkily said, can someone punish me? And Gold asked me to beg for it, so I said, please. And then I got permoed, and then Kidda and Zeno freaked out and unbanned me in a bunch of connected chats. That was what happened. We respect intellectual property in this chat? Yeah. Okay, I was not that drunk. Gold, it sounds like you were pretty drunk. I was only a teensy bit drunk. You're also a baby, too. Oh my God, Cheeky, also Gold, what the fuck? It was a Friday night, what can I say? You're also in college, so I get it. I would love if like Need for Speed Underground was like on PS5. Need for Speed Unbound is the closest current alternative. Dude, I remember playing Need for Speed Underground and we had it and we're like, we got to the drag race and we didn't know how to fucking play it. And then we realized we had the shift. And I was like, oh my God. 4-7, that was an accident. 28. 28, Tish. That's why gold isn't a mod in my stream anymore. And that's why I'm very scared to make gold a mod. I have Carbon, Hot Pursuit 2, Most Wanted, and Underground 2. I think I have Hot Pursuit, but it's on the I've Hot Pursuit on like the PS3. Told you they were biased against me. I mean, gold, that's pretty insane. But you're also a baby too. So how could we have a baby as a mod? Justified? Wow, Becca is on my side here? Becca's on my side? Wow. Important factor is now we don't take excessive debt going into the future. I have prepared a few project proposals. Potential to take an additional debt to flatten the downward turn in the economy. Two main distinctions between these projects, either about continuing our infrastructure improvements or investing in increasing production. If you consider working on the infrastructure, that would lift us to advanced country levels. However, our industrial production also needs a boost to return to pre-recession levels. Mods have qualified immunity. Gold did nothing wrong. I don't think they do. Wait, Otto is defending mods right now? Otto is literally the person that says hashtag mod the mods. Ghost, give me the sword. Wait, why do you want the sword, Becca? Why do you want the sword? How was I supposed to know that any stream that would mod me was sharing their ban info? That feels like a lapse in judgment on their part. Oh, just give it to me? Okay. Also, I want to point out that Kidda's not here to defend gold at the moment. You know, I think Kidda Lemon is the I think Lemon is the one. I think Lemon is the one that Kidda protects. I think Kidda has timed out gold. She would not defend gold. If gold gets banned, I will revote. Well, Becca's not going to ban gold because banning gold would fuck everything up in all the other ban info chats that I share. See, this is funny because never mind. I'm not gonna bring it up. Becca knows why I'm laughing at this. I almost banned gold the other day. Oh shit. Becca knows why I'm laughing. Becca knows why I'm laughing because she knows I'm about to run the top of the hour ad break. Because the top of every hour, I run a 3-minute ad. If you want to avoid the ads, you can pay $5.99 for a subscription or get lucky and get gifted a sub. Or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos to your favorite streamer. Hopefully it's me. If it's not me, then hopefully it's one of my friends. But here comes the 3-minute ad break now. System failed gold. It's not his fault. He had a rough upgrading. I've only banned a person accidentally one time. Becca, I know you would be fine. How fuck you. 8 out of 10. We still need to figure out. Damn it. I believe gold. We still need to create the fucking top of the hour bot. I want to do it, chat. I still feel guilty. Poor Osco. I haven't seen Osco in forever. I haven't seen Osco in a long time. I stand with gold. So Otto, if you stand with gold and I give Becca the sword, if you stand with gold, does that mean that you also get banned? Oh, sorry, timed out. I think that's what that means. And then Becca would also get target practice as a mod. I'm coming out swinging. The allegations against gold would have not been proven in court of law. I mean, gold was a baby. Like, I don't even blame gold. Gold was a fucking baby. Gold was a baby and gold didn't know. However, we do talk about negligence is not a reason to be proven innocent. I like when Becca has a sword because she protects me. So True Hollow, thank you for being on the side of justice. Oh, gotcha. It's a problem because if someone gets banned in one chat, they get banned in a bunch of others. Since you share the info, I banned someone for a joke once and I immediately unbanned them. Consensual joke because they knew what was going on. Yes, Tish, that's the problem. That is the problem, Tish. That is the problem. We should all host a collective stream and pull up all the gold's logs in a mock court. And he has to make a case for all these allegations. Do a kangaroo court for gold with all of his logs. Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. Except I wouldn't have access to gold's. Oh shit. I wouldn't have access to gold's chat logs in Becca's because Becca doesn't make me a mod. Because I'm a hate watcher. Go look at that. They get cleared every 10 minutes. With how much I get timed out? You don't get timed out here, Gold. You want to be a mod? I can be if you want me to be, Becca. I'm a very good mod. There's, of course, the option to not take any risks related to our budget. No, we're building infrastructure. High-speed trains, baby. Plans for these projects will be finalized soon. For now, I can provide preliminary information. Which one would you like to hear first? What are projects to improve infrastructure? Okay, wasn't I banned in here earlier this week? Were you? Were you timed out? I don't think you were banned. Auto or Gold, I haven't been live in like days. No, I don't see anything in here, Gold. BiteSync banned you? Yeah, BiteSync didn't ban you. Like 2 weeks ago. BiteSync accidentally banned you 2 weeks ago. Yeah, BiteSync accidentally banned you. BiteSync has done that from time to time. Becca, please don't make him a mod. Yes. And then Kidda had to go into all the other chats to unban you. Well, you weren't banned, but they had to take the cautious thing off of it. For infrastructure, we have two projects. One is Benfey International Airport. The other is Mornaport. Benfey is growing at a rapid pace and would benefit highly from an international airport. Much more money to be made there, too. Mornaport will boost trade and improve the flow of goods towards Holsword because Conradt Port is too small in capacity and an extension is blocked by the Navy headquarters. Economic growth in Benfey could be propelled. It still has yet to reach its full potential. Morna would be a more significant city with a port, and the advanced logistical connection to Holsword would be better utilized. BiteStick's a little trigger happy. But what good cop? I mean, mod isn't. Suspicious user. Yeah, that's it. I don't think investing in Morna with a port would do much to change our economic prospects. Goods are flowing from other places just as fast. Increased imports and exports on a more accessible path to Holsword is very lucrative in my opinion. Time is money. I agree with Edith. The Morna port will mean a great deal for our trade and improve the economy of Lauren region too. I'm sus, but I make the obvious right away. I don't need the label. What are the projects that could boost our production? For production, we have two projects. One is Sarna Agricultural Zone, and the other is Conrad Industrial Center. City. Not Siri, city. God damn it. I see Sarna Agricultural Zone investment as a higher priority due to the fact that farmers in Bergia were the most hit by the recession. Sarna also is much poorer city than Conrad. Conrad Industrial City projects has the potential to increase manufacturing in the greater Holstead region by a large amount. Sarna is a much poorer city indeed. It deserves any investment it can get from the government. Recession has hit the farmers of Sarna particularly hard. Besides the agricultural output increase would boost our economy. Wait, Becca, could I get some of that info? Kidda and Lemon had to manually tell me once when they banned someone from Vorlo's stream that was also following me. It may be easier for us if I have that info too, especially since some of the people from my chat have gone to other places too. No worries if not, that's not okay. Yeah, Tish, you could just you could do share ban info and just message that person and say, hey, I'd like to share ban info with you because that's what I did. Investment won't be able to recover the industry there. Conrad, on the other hand, would bring more financial gain. Our government has the opportunity to support agriculture, and we should take it. It would increase our exports too. I have enough information. Very well. Covers our subjects for today. I have a couple more economy-related questions. Anybody who wants to add something? I guess we'll do some more questions. Thank you. No problem, Tish. How strong is our currency? How is the mood in the National Business Council? I don't give a fuck about the National Business Council. What can we expect in terms of our trade situation? Success in reaching a trade deal has boosted our position and regional trade route and increased the likelihood of potential trade partners. We've imported and exported more across with all countries except Rumberg. All right. I think I'm done with this. I think I'm done with this meeting. Until next time, Mr. President, see you soon. Meeting ended. Operation Bear Trap. Read the reports. Estord's locals bear the brunt of high energy prices. Escalating energy prices are causing distress among the locals in Estord. Residents are feeling a pinch as the cost of essentials utilities rocket. Grand National Assembly holster drafted Energy Inflation Reduction Act. In response to the recent surge in energy prices, bill proposes temporary price cap of gas prices, bilateral agreement with energy-rich countries, and the expansion of domestic energy production. This comprehensive approach is geared to mitigate the inflationary pressures on energy prices and stimulate domestic economic growth. Import and export this. Nice. Hi, Fox. How are you? L1 Railway construction update. Sordland State Corporation has reported that construction for L1 Railway has been delayed for a year. The managers of the project apologized in a public statement, taking the blame on themselves. Motherfucker. Reports from border cities indicate the polio outbreak in wheelin has been moving towards Sordland. Specifically, there has been a sharp increase in cases in rural Userin and nearby villages. Health professionals have been dispatched to curb the infections by quarantining the patients. There are currently 23 active. That's not how polio works, I think, if I remember correctly. Prime Minister Van Horten warned us about increasing naval presence of Vlogsland and Marquee Sea. He showed his wishes to have stronger naval cooperation with Sordland in the future. United Cantonian ships show support to Vlogslandian fleet. Several United Cantonian destroyers stationed join Conrad Naval Base have left the port of Conrad in the morning to join Vlogslandian fleet, which is patrolling around Helgeland. Orson Sordland. Landmark court filing has been appealed to the Court of Appeals today. Under review, the Minister of Justice, lawyer Bludish, civil rights activist Israel Island sued Governor Braun for infringement of the constitutional rights of equality before the law. Case questions separate legal treatment of Bludish and Dare, and by extension, the whole Bergia. Urson argues Governor Braun's policy, including the controversial resettlement policy, infringes upon the right of property of Bludish citizens. Claims Article 6 and 7 of the Constitution, as well as the institution of special... whatever. Protesting against Governor Braun's resettlement order. Can I just remove that guy? I've been having all kinds of issues with that dude. Iran versus New Zealand tied. Nice! Nice. It'd be cool to see... It'd be sick if Iran won it all. Apparently, if Iran finishes second and the United States finishes second in pool play, they'll play each other in the first round of the elimination. And also, Iran has to deal with some fucking shit playing in this tournament. They're supposed to fly in, like, day of, but I think they allowed them to stay overnight or something last night. Investment in mega projects. Several investment projects outlined which we could start. Benfidi International Airport, Conrad Industrial, Mornaport. Minus 2 government projects. I feel like the Mornaport is better. The other half of the group tied, so the group is all tied. Oh, that game's finished? Oh god, this is gonna come down to tiebreakers. Meeting on escalating tensions in Bergula. Yeah, Morgna and Lilius scheduled a meeting to discuss ongoing legal case that requires my attention. Early in the morning, we convened in my office. Thank you for being here at this hour, Mr. President. We need to inform you about some news from Bergia. There's a court case initiated by a blooded citizen which involves a possible revision of the Constitution. Unfortunately, it has the potential to affect the whole country. I'm listening. Explain, please. Great. Bad news from Bergia again. What's new? Start from the beginning. As you know, after the discovery of the KA-74s in the separatist hideouts, there have been more than a few attacks initiated and claimed by BFF. Due to decrease in security funds, many of these otherwise affordable attacks couldn't be stopped. This created some hysteria inside Bergia. Leah's side. The main problem is the security structure of Bergia. Due to the special status of the region, operations on the ground are run by local security forces that are not bound by the interior, which means my hands are tied. Unfortunately, the court backlog is piling up with increasingly frequent rulings that are unjust. This has led to many of our citizens losing their trust in our justice system. This is particularly a problem for the residents of Bergia. It's definitely not helping with the increasing tensions between the bloodish populace and swords. It increased even further after Operation Bear Trap. We have been receiving more and more intelligence about some kind of preparation by the terrorists. Can't allow the conflict in Wheelin to spread to Sordland, and we know that Wheelin and Sordland divisions of BFF are close in cooperation. This is worrying. I think the threat is overblown. You have my ear. That's precisely why I didn't make a deal with Wheelin. That was the right decision. Well, it didn't seem to have stopped the tension from increasing. Their war against BFS has bolstered their resolve inside our country. The increasing threat of the BFF, like Governor Braun, to justifiably resort to his emergency powers to curb danger. His discovery of militant training grounds disguised as schools was commendable, as well as his quick handling of bomb threats coming from major cities like there. Dude, Lilius, most liberal Zionist person ever. However, his latest policies have been questionable, especially the peaceful resettlement order. It has been met with massive anger from the majority of the Bloods in the region. That is a massive understatement. Governor Braun has abused his power and clearly acted against the Constitution. And quite surprisingly, Ishval Urshan has managed to successfully push his case to the higher courts. He is suing Felix Braun for infringement upon the liberties of the bloodish people. He also raises a concern in the Constitution and argues that the way it is written makes it open to interpretation and allows people like Governor Braun to abuse their powers. Group G is a four-way tie between Iran, New Zealand, Belgium, and Egypt. Oh, Belgium and Egypt tied today too? I saw Egypt was scheduled to play. Once again, chat, I am not watching any games in the World Cup. I don't plan on watching any games. I don't plan on watching any games.
Do you find that you can't afford all the subscriptions that we have to have nowadays? Well,
he also raises a conflict in the Constitution, argues that the way it is written
of
who is Ishval Urshan?
Intellectual property at all.
Ishval Urshan, a lawyer and bloodish rights activist. He lives in Dare and has experienced systemic racism in the region firsthand.
Here on the Net Ghostwriter broadcast.
He was evicted last month from his home in Dare on the grounds of threatening public stability and safety. He was also shot at by a local law enforcement forces several times in the last 2 years and managed to survive it. All so far, the attackers, of course, were never punished. As much as his eviction seems unjust, Mr. Urson must be further investigated for his potential ties to dangerous organizations. I'd like to believe the forces wouldn't have fired at him without proper reason. That's crazy. What the bloodish community is going through in Bergia is unacceptable and must do what it takes to stop this madness. Ms. Graff is right. We must first completely sure. Are you joking, Ms. Graff? You like to believe the police are getting out of control under your management? Fuck, there's two really good answers here. But she's going to say the Bergian police are... Fuck, that's a really good answer, though. I would love to say that to her. Either go to watch parties, watch Spanish translation in Telemundo, or use the PSA method. Don't give money to Fox if you can help it. I thought Telemundo is under Fox. Or no, that's Univision, right? Escow! That we must. What exactly is this case about? What are the accusations against the governor? What exactly does Urson claim about the conflict from the Constitution? Ishval Urson claiming the current Constitution gives the legal grounds to discriminate against bloodish people. directly infringing upon the rights of citizens. Claims Article 7 of the Constitution, citing the line, every sword is equal before the law, is in direct conflict with the freedoms and rights defined in Article 100. Governor Felix Braun is accused of using Article 7 to justify his oppression of the Bludish community. Accusations against the governor. Mr. Braun has sadly evicted thousands of Bloods from their home. And Dare recently, the fact that this happened in a city with relatively low levels of BFF activity is a sloppy decision at best. Sloppy decision. This is a direct violation of the right to property. The BFF activity levels have nothing to do with this. But it does, Miss Morgana. The state can take any measure to fight with terror inside its borders. The decision would have justified if those neighborhoods were in fact labeled as threat level red. But they were not. Oh my God. Oh my God. She's saying that he should have listed them as threat level red, so then it would have justified his power. Dude, she is the most liberal person. She's the most neoliberal person ever. Hence, he did not have authority to evict those citizens. In this case, in Dare, the governor has definitely violated his authority. You're underplaying it. This eviction was only the last of the many he ordered and part of Bergia's peaceful resettlement policies. This is not about Dare. There are hundreds of accusations listed in this case, ranging from violent actions by law enforcement officers to open discrimination in local municipalities. Calm down, Nia dear. I'm not disagreeing with you. What exactly does Urson claim? As you know, the rights and liberties Article 7 alludes to are described in Article 100 in further detail. All citizens, in theory, can exercise the rights described in these articles and are equally subject to law as described, and these rights cannot be suspended by the government under any circumstances other than defense of war. Telemoon is also on Peacock, which is only like $10 a month, as opposed to Fox One, which is $20, and Fox One comes with Fox News. Ew. Mr. Urson claims the line, every sword is equal before law in Article 7, does not include other ethnicities, and thus gives the state the right to suspend or limit the rights of non-swords defined in Article 100. Jesus Christ. Courts have repeatedly protected Governor Braun in the past, and it is true that he bets Mr. Hawker justifying his actions through Article 7. However, there is Article 6, which the courts could have taken into account already. What's the problem with Article 6? As you know, Article 6 goes, everyone who is bound to the sword of state by citizenship is a sword, which clarifies clearly the Constitution does not discriminate against other ethnicities or cultures. Citizens of this country are called swords. But you ask Bludish people what they think? Yes, it's true that this article has protected them on a number of occasions, as it defines sword as a non-ethnic term, but is left up to the interpretation of the courts. They could have argued that Article 6 extends the rights defined in Article 7 to all citizens of Sordland, regardless of race, but they didn't yet. They can potentially push this case to the Supreme Court. Need to stack the papers in front of her. In any case, the situation might be troubling if it reaches the Supreme Court and Mr. Hawker manages to sabotage it by altering current interpretation. It would be disastrous for Bludish rights. I will be doing my best to ensure a positive result comes out of the case, but I'm not sure if the centrists would be willing to agree with Mr. Urson. Why would Mr. Hawker even sabotage it? The current interpretation is strictly solist. I'm sure Hawker's the Chief Supreme Court Justice, by the way. Surely follow the Constitution and charge of Governor Braun for unconstitutional behavior. Is this reference to communities like the Kurds? I believe so, as well as Palestinians. The other day I watched BBC commentary, and they were much better than Fox commentary. Almost like they commentate the sport more there. Yeah. And understand international friendlies. Oh, I gotta blow my nose, chat. What year is it? 1953, I think. I think it's 1953. Short estate corporation delays. Railway construction. Health requires more resources. Boosting economy. Central Bank Reinforcement Act. Ishval Urson, Governor Braun. Addressing energy inflation. Proposed act. Energy crisis looming over Sordland. Housewives march to defend Swordlish tradition. 2026 still. Yeah, it doesn't advance very fast. I actually don't know what year it is. And I don't know where to find it. I think the whole game takes place in a year. Also, I literally just started. I haven't played in like a week. Why would Mr. Hawker satisfy the current interpretation of Solus? Yada yada yada. According to the foundational values of this republic, everyone who is a citizen of this country is a sword. The Constitution is clear about this and does not allow for discrimination. Maybe Hawker is not the man you think he is, Ms. Graff. What I've heard his stance on this subject may not be the standard Solus interpretation, but something darker. I'm afraid he'll reject the case altogether and find Governor Braun innocent. If this happens, it would make discrimination against Bludge people legal. You think Justice Hawker and old guards would go that far? This is insane. Isn't there anything I can do? Honestly, I couldn't care less. I would be better for this country. God damn. That's racist as fuck. Insane. Is there anything I can do? I'm afraid not, Mr. President. The executive has no jurisdiction over judiciary. In this case, I'm afraid even Justice Edmonds and the centrists would be almost impossible to convince. To be honest, I don't think this is a matter for our administration. We just keep out of our judicial affairs. As much as I hate to say it, I somewhat agree with Lilius on this. I prefer to keep the status quo over risking a complete abolishment of rights. We still have the power to make tangible reforms. And I don't know where to find it. God damn it, Emmy. The fuck kind of shit? What the fuck kind of shit are you doing? Your lack of faith is disappointing. I must say I didn't expect that from you. And what about your tangible reforms? What if we convince the justices to agree with Urson? Wouldn't that give us precedent to change said articles of the Constitution? Let's put pressure on the system and block this case from reaching the Supreme Court. You are right. Lack of faith is disappointing. I must say I didn't expect that from you. And what about your tangible? Urson is... Yeah. The Supreme Court agrees that the Constitution is in conflict with itself, yes, but I don't know if you are serious or not, Mr. President. Sorry, I thought that I don't know what year it is clip would be funny. Actually, was it not long enough? Year it is. I don't know where to find it. Oh, that last little bit. That last little bit kind of throws it off. Afraid Justice Edmonds and centrists would be completely against that. It would be a very difficult scenario. As I said, I think the government has better things to do than meddle with judicial affairs. There is, however, something that the government can do to address the situation on the ground. It is time we push for change within the security structure of Bergia, and the special status that resulted in de facto autonomy clearly isn't working. Resettlement policies in Bergia and Urson case have changed the mood of the lawmakers. We can use this opportunity to push for removal of Tarkin Sol's security zone decree. Is much bigger possibility than before. Of course, racism is rampant throughout our country, but bloodish citizens inside Bergia are having much worse time than bloodish residents of cities like Lockhaven or Holsword. If we focus on Bergia, we can remove its special status. This will only be a huge step for bloodish rights. Unfortunately, as long as Governor Braun is in charge of Bergia with the powers he has, no judicial reforms would reverse the situation on the ground. Put it simply, we want to work on detailed proposals to restructure Bergia. I believe it must become a region of Sordland like any other. We must centralize the system and abolish the local security forces. Are you sure we can revoke the special status of Bergia? Are you absolutely certain that our security forces can do a better job than Bergian police? I don't see how local change is more important than removing the basis of discrimination in our very constitution. I don't agree with changing the structure in Bergia. I don't see how local change is more important than removing the basis of discrimination in our Constitution. It's not, but when the forces on the ground don't even respect the Constitution, fiction alone will not suffice. True. Dude, I like Nia. Nia Morgana is awesome. Let's wake up to the real world. There's no way the Assembly or Court would pass an amendment to Article 6 or 7. If our current proposal passes, we will no longer need the Court to change the Constitution. The Assembly can always be convinced later. Are you sure we can revoke the special status? We can't be sure of anything, Mr. President. You know this better than me. But Lilius and I both believe there's potential to get more MPs behind the idea. It is true some members of my circle inside the party are keen on this as well. They're starting to believe Seoul's policy in Bergia has already run its course. If we play our cards right during the process of this case while we work on the preparation of a strong proposal for the special zone, we can gather enough support behind it. If we play our cards right during the process of the case while we work on the preparation of a strong proposal for the special zone, we can gather enough support behind it. We have to try. Why stop with Bergia? We have eventually changed Article 6 to 7 as well. Doing a co-stream of this, having someone else voice the other part for you would go hard. Probably. There's a lot of voices though. Dude, Keko? Keko would be good. I think this might be too risky to push at the same time. No. Glad we agree. Of course, we should push for the next amendments. Before we get distracted, I'd like to briefly talk about the details of the proposal. Nia and I both agree that we need to abolish the special zone of Bergia. This is the first point that the proposal will address. Does not also mean taking away special authority of the governor. Yeah, having Keko do the other voices would be pretty good because he could have a different voice for all of them. I agree with removing the governor as well as his insane authority, but I don't support a complete centralization of the region. I propose to restructure a special zone and democratize it and now is the bloodish movement. How does that resolve anything? How do you solve any problem by dividing the region? Also, chat, I don't understand why when I tab out that you don't hear the audio. Singy streamers reading these. Streamers reading these, doing impressions of political figures like Kamala Harris and Mitch McConnell and some would be so funny. Yeah. God damn, chat. Dairy's stream is so loud. Dairy's stream is so loud. There's so much goddamn reading though, singing. Like, I wish they would do the thing that Disco Elysium did. I wish they did the thing that Disco Elysium did where they did voiceover later. That's a lot of money, though. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much fucking... There's so much... This is the most leftist game ever. I don't know. I feel like this game probably has done well. It's definitely like very detail oriented. Is there a way we could see how well it's done? How does it resolve anything? How do you solve any problem by dividing the region from the rest of Sordland? Try that already. Hold on, Lilius. I want to hear Nia's proposal. You're with Lilius. Replacing a special zone with another one wouldn't help anyone. Democratize it and acknowledge the Bloodish movement. Yeah, let's listen to the proposal. When I tabbed over to Fox commentary on the Iran match, a commentary called Los Angeles Terra Angeles because of all the Iran fans in the stands. Well, yeah. Iranian diaspora is like, there's a ton of Iranian diaspora in the Los Angeles area. Thank you, Mr. President. Millions of Bloodish people suffered over the last decades. We saw a massive uprising, terror attacks, and governor going rogue. These people only wanted to live in this country as equals, but they were denied that. Why don't we allow Burgians to elect their local government? Why is Wholesword so keen on prying into the lives of Bloodish people? Owner estimations on the player tracker is 1.5 million, so it's doing okay. Because Disco Elysium, did they raise money to get the voiceover work done? But this game's been out for like 6 years at this point, so they're probably not going to do voiceovers for it now. Oh my god, if Will would do this game, Will Neff would do this game with Hassan, that would be sick. I don't know if Will would. Disco has 8 million. Oh. Should replace the oppressive laws of the special zone with a democratic system that allows for proper local representation. I propose Burgia a semi-autonomous region. Sorry to tell you, Ms. Morgana, but Burgia is part of Sordland as much as Agnulin and Hullsword. You're bringing secessionists, Feta Ejols, lifelong quest here as your proposal. What's wrong with you? What's next? Secession of Burgia and formation of an independent Bloodish state autonomy for Agnulin. Why don't you hold a referendum for the Rums of Estord and ask them if they want to join Rumberg while you're at it? Lilius has a point. Burgia shouldn't have any restrictions or privileges. She's also using the fucking slippery slope argument. Dude, she's the most fucking neoliberal person ever. I don't trust her at all. Can I just fire her? I don't want her anywhere fucking near my cabinet. Justice for Burgia? I mean, I agree with you, Emmy. Support of a semi-autonomous Burgia. This is what mainstream Bloodish movement wants. Alright, I might as well listen to this fucking psychopath. I want to hear Ms. Graff's proposal. My proposal is very simple. The special zone must be fully revoked. Governor's powers taken away and the local security forces must be abolished. Only then Burgia can be an equal part of Sordland. I propose we unite Burgia with the rest of Sordland and enforce the same laws and policies as any other Sordish region, dismantling the current semi-independent security structure in the process. Congratulations to the participation trophy. I also kind of agree with this too. We'll hold local municipal elections just like every city in the Sordland, and the security of the region will be under full control of the Ministry of the Interior. We can no longer allow their forces to pursue violence with impunity. This was a problem that the central government could fix. Your mighty colonel would have solved it already. The assimilation policies clearly didn't work. What does that have to do with anything? I'm just saying the solution is not rush unification. We must acknowledge that Burgia is a unique region with its own culture and history. We cannot disregard the social reality. He has a point. Special assimilation is also not the solution. We must finally listen to what Bloodish people want. I support Lilia's plan to revoke special status of Burgia and unify it. I don't agree with either of you. I'd rather not risk any drastic change. Both proposals failed to impress me. I want to start working on the possibility of adding new amendments to our proposal. Our proposal should expand the rights to everyone. See, 1 and 4 are good responses. Does low-key be fun to read aloud in character? Yeah, I agree with you. How long is this game? It's very fucking long. I've now played it for... it says 9.5 hours. but I don't think that I don't know if that includes today. And we've gotten through like 5 days, I think. Yeah, it says I've played 9.6 hours. So I guess that includes today. So it'd be hard to do in like one sitting or whatever. It's the most leftist game ever, Singy. So much reading, so much information. Yeah, we're gonna listen to the Bloodish people. We're gonna democratize it. Greg, start working on the proposal immediately. Yes, it's been decided, Miss Morgana. You can get to work immediately. I'm counting on you. On a second thought, centralization is the way to go. Start to work immediately. Second thought, I think it's best if we keep the status quo. Would you consider Disco Elysium a leftist game? Though its critique on communism, kinda. I haven't finished it though. Yeah, because it's a lot of fucking reading. It's a lot of reading until they put the voiceover stuff in. It critiques any it critiques all the forms of ideologies, actually. But I joke that it's a leftist game. So like I say all leftist games are just like reading. But I would argue that Disco Elysium is just a leftist game in general. Because it kind of promotes leftist decisions in the game as the correct decisions. But like Disco Elysium without the voiceover would be very hard to stream. It's hard to stream as it is. But like with the voiceover, it makes it easier. And then you could do the commentary on it. That's how I did it. As well as being very tasteful and full of incredible art and conversation, very topical. Yes. Yeah. It's very good. It's very well done. It's probably one of my favorite games. Thought I'd stream it. I don't know if I'm smart enough. I'm sure you're fine, Singy. I'm sure you're fine. I mean, if you're already playing it, you kind of know what's happening. But like, I'd imagine you would also have like a decent sized community immediately. But it's ultimately up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. All right. I'm gonna need to get water, chat, and I'm gonna need to put chapstick on because my lips are drying out. Kind of like the original Animal Farm book version before the CIA got a hold of it to make the original movie version, and they screwed it to be more anti-communist and stripped its critique of capital. Yes, the original Animal Farm was just anti-authoritarian, anti-Stalinist. Anyway, I locked into this game is interesting. Most leftist game counter at 313. Yeah, it's because I'm complaining about it, Otto. But chat, I'm going to take a leak quick. I'll give you words on stream to play while I go to the bathroom and get water and get chapstick. So you guys will get a round of words on stream. All right, chat? This game is very interesting. It was brought on by Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. It's a chatter in the community. I do enjoy this game, though. I just hate how much reading I have to do and that I have to read it out for everybody. Who's the most leftist chatter? I am. I am, chat. All right, I'm back. I'll be back. All right, I'm back, chat. I think this game would be more fun to just play on the weekend by yourself. Having to read it out makes it a drag a little bit. No, I agree with you. But I started playing it on stream and I wanted to continue it because I think it's a good game to talk about, like the politics of it and the ideologies of it and stuff like that. And that's like ultimately one of the reasons the stream exists, right? Energy prices on the rise. It's super well written. Yeah, I agree. Like, they definitely knew their shit. Hot pick SSC fails to deliver. Israel Urson is right. Special zone declares war on Bloodish people. Politico. Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. I'll start working on it immediately. Liz looked incredibly fierce, but kept herself quiet. I doubted that she would forget about this. Not really a game, more of a comic book visual novel. Yeah, I'd agree with that assessment. I think Disco Elysium is kind of like that too. To have a structure that will actually solve the problems of the region, we'll need to conduct in-depth research beforehand. I believe it will take some time. My estimate is that the proposal will be ready sometime after your constitutional amendments are voted on. You can choose whether to enact it then. Sounds good, Miss Morgana. I'm counting on you. Perfect. Get to work immediately. Great. I'll get to work. See you later, Mr. President. They bid their farewells and left the room. Sorry, my ear popped. This guy has some more game stuff like exploration and skill trees and roles and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, no. I was thinking about that too when I made the statement. But I feel like an interactive graphic novel is kind of better description for Disco Elysium, while this is kind of a choose your own adventure type thing. Surge in energy prices alarms NBC. National Business Council Lock Haven has reported a surge in energy prices, sharp increase causing widespread. Have you tried Zero Parades for Dead Spies? No. I'm not even aware of that game. Surge energy inflation crisis, rapidly increasing energy prices, market volatility trigger an economic downturn. Markets should regulate themselves? Oh, God. Sudden surge in energy prices, market instability have sparked concern among investors and analysts about the resilience of Sordland's economy. Sordland now stands at the precipice of a severe energy and inflation crisis. This heightened uncertainty has led to speculative investment, potential decrease in foreign direct investment, and a risk of consequential economic slump. These developments could have a domino effect. No, I don't want the markets to regulate themselves. I want to fucking do something about it. God damn it. Gotham closes its doors. Grim day for Sordland. What if I nationalize Gotham? Is that the new game by Disco? Publisher, I heard it's surprisingly good. Next game from South Africa, Disco-like. A lot of the same devs. Interesting. Sordland is Jover. It's not Jover. I got this shit. Okay. I lost 3 for the government thing. Central Bank Reinforcement Act. Central Bank Reinforcement Act led by Edith Agnott and GNA intends to bolster the strength and stability of Sordland's national currency and bolster the overall economy. Grand National Assembly advocates for the following measures. Did you split into 3 countries? Not yet. Section 1 mandates the accumulation of foreign exchange reserves by buying foreign currencies, especially those of Sordland's main trading partners. The central bank can exert more control over the value of our currency. Section 2 outlines the adoption of prudent fiscal policy. By reducing the national debt and limiting budget deficits, the country can present itself as a more stable economic entity, attracting foreign investment and improving our credit rating, which in turn would enable us to borrow at lower interest rates if necessary. Section 3 proposes increased legal and informational support for industries with high export potential, such as our emerging electronics sector. Wine production, increasing exports demand for our currency on the international market. So does this thing basically create... So this thing basically creates central bank? I guess. Because I want a central bank. But I feel like this is going to allow me to do... I feel like this is going to allow me to do, like, the things you need. Like, this feels like austerity. I'm gonna veto it. I'm gonna veto it. Budget allocation of healthcare. Having afternoon tea in the State House office in Dare and going through the newspapers. One of the headlines piqued my interest. I read polio crisis in Wheelin. Before I could start reading, I heard a couple knocks. Pascal entered, followed by Lucian. Mr. President, it's time for the scheduled healthcare meeting. Good afternoon. Please take your seats. Very well, let's begin. Badge for me. Good night, Otto. Have a good badge. They've taken their seats and Pascal produced documents from his suitcase. He put them on the table. Pascal looked at the newspaper I was reading. Oh, chat. My delivery's here. I'll be right back. All right, chat. The pasta maker is here. The pasta maker is here. Pascal looked at the newspaper I was reading. Very troubling news from Wheelin, Mr. President. I've just returned from a meeting with our top scientists on the matter of polio. It seems to be spreading. Wait, I thought polio was genetic. Oh, I guess if it was... Yeah, I guess that makes sense. If it was genetic, you wouldn't need a vaccine for it. Just returned from a meeting. Our top scientists in the matter of polio. It seems to be spreading. Indeed, this might have dire consequences in the region. I'm not worried it will stop before it reaches Sordland. What are we doing to prepare? Why am I just learning this from a newspaper? What are we doing to prepare? We've notified all of our healthcare staff, especially the ones closer to the Wheelin border. Unfortunately, these are also the more rural areas where we lack equipment and staff. What I was told by our researchers was that with the current infection rate, there will soon be millions of people affected by polio. We need to be ready for any possibility. I doubt it. I doubt it is that serious yet. Regardless, back to the topic. Benewolf. Pascal put on his reading glasses, went through the documents. He didn't say anything for a whole minute. Mr. Benewolf. Yes, of course. Let's start. Put the papers down, cleared his throat, and looked at me. In general, I'm very content with the budget decision that was made. This comes as no surprise, as I know you're a man of your word. The overall mood has been positive, and the administration focuses more on the healthcare. I'm excited about what we can achieve with allocated funds. Do you have any specific areas to focus in mind? Providing better healthcare is our goal. The administration will be known to have supported the welfare services. We have to minimize service disparity in the country. The situation isn't good at all. Personally invested to solve the horrible infant and maternal death rates along with your requests. As you know, I've been prepared for a new privatization program that would create funds through selling of unused ministry property and some extra taxes. I know this is too Pascal, but this goes against our economic doctrine. Additionally, health is a key sector people expect to have in public hands. Aside from creating additional funds, there is a long-term problem with privatization in a country like Sordland. I don't see a problem with privatization or create additional funds. You're right, there must be structural issues, especially due to private greed and market manipulation. Yes. Also, in a country where most people don't have access to quality healthcare, I do agree that there is some concern there, but the benefits to competitive and quality services is greater. No, it's not. It's not Acacia or Lesbia. You're talking about Sordland, in which the healthcare is free for now. We have people who have their lives depending on services is free to them. True. Messing with that structure will definitely hurt us politically in the future. That I know for sure. But the choice is yours, Mr. President. We'll promote privatization and allow private. No. We'll keep healthcare in the state control. Don't allow any private involvement that can endanger core health services. Yes. As you wish, health services shall remain in public hands. Good choice. Now let's get to the big question: how we'll spend the extra funds dedicated to the Ministry of Health. Are you to consider these proposals? We could build new hospitals where necessary, divert funds to increase salaries of our health workers, or invest in enhancing existing treatment facilities in rural areas. Each of these options presents a unique path towards improving healthcare access and quality in Sordland. Building new hospitals sounds interesting. It would also boost our popularity. Increasing salaries should have a good effect for doctors, nurses, and other staff who work so hard for the citizens. Improving treatment in rural areas is a must. It would prevent mistreatment, disease, and sickness. Sad reality is that rural clinics are woefully outdated, ill-equipped, and understaffed. This stark disparity between urban and rural healthcare is a major contributor to high maternal mortality rates and prevalence of other diseases in our rural communities. Addressing this issue is one of my key objectives in this term, and I believe an overhaul of the rural healthcare infrastructure is a critical step in that direction. We're seeing an uptick in minor outbreaks in specific regions. It's largely due to outdated facilities that lack proper hygiene standards and equipment. Building new hospitals sounds interesting. It would also boost our popularity. Increasing salaries would have a good effect for doctors, nurses, and other staff who work so hard for our citizens. We can't proceed with the decision, Mr. Benewall. My book, The Unfortunate Man, I depict the hardship of poor mining family, a vivid illustration of stark health inequalities of our society. Minister of Health, I strive to rectify these disparities. Therefore, I believe improving treatment in rural areas should be our course of action, Mr. President. It would be the best to consider the political advantages of each one, as well as the practical advantages before making a decision. A few minutes went by in contemplation as the moment to make a decision came near. Build new hospitals where they're needed. Access to health will be available for all. Increase salaries to doctors. Improve rural treatment by hiring health staff and upgrading equipment in rural areas. New contracts for improvements will be drawn up immediately. Well, that wraps up the discussion for now. Very well. Fruitful meeting nevertheless. Nice and short. Just the way I like it. Thank you for the meeting. Dismissed. Pascal grabbed his documents and left along with Lucian. Well, that was a productive meeting. Oh, inconsistent curriculum. Quality rural health service. Hell yeah. Okay. Wheelin military initiates assault targets. Chief of Armed Forces Valken Kruger reported that Wazek Armed Forces moving north towards the town of Vernon. On their way, many bloodish villages were assaulted, and initial reports indicate a high death toll. As they are approaching closer to the border, Wazek Army's movement will be observed closely. Many displaced refugees, the border. Fuck? What are they doing? Talks with friends Richter on the upcoming vote. Go to the news here. Op-ed, step towards economic freedom. Vetri CD, Trade Committee, Lauds. Anton Rain's decision to veto Central Bank Reinforcement Act. They argue the bill, with its emphasis on government regulation and control, could have hampered economic growth and stifled free trade. The veto symbolizes commitment to the market-oriented. Fucking A! Oh, god damn it. Why did I veto that then? Fuck. Article paid for by Venture City Free Trade Committee. Fucking A. Thousands protest new governor Helgeland. Oh, they're gonna fucking protest it. God damn it. I can't believe I did that. Just like some chatters say, can't believe that can't avoid the top of the hour ad break, because the top of every hour runs 3-minute ad. If you want to avoid the ads, you can pay $5.99 for a subscription or get lucky and get gifted a sub. Or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos to your favorite streamer. Hopefully it's me. If it's not me, then hopefully it's one of my friends. But here comes the 3-minute ad break now. Preparation for the new constitution nearly complete. Soon we were going to propose it to the Grand National Assembly. Huge step for administration. Desperately needed more support. That's why I had invited Franz Richter for a chat about upcoming vote. He and his party held the key to our success. Wait, can I save scum this? I might be able to save scum. Chat, I'm going to save scum. I'm going to save scum. Because I don't think it saved it since when I videoed it. Suzerain is a work of fiction. Fuck, it might have saved it. Oh, damn it. It did save it. Fuck. Definitely needed more support. That's why I had invited Franz Richter for a chat about the upcoming vote. Met at presidential office at the end of the day. He arrived in his signature navy blue suit and handed me a box of famous Arcasian chocolates before settling down on the couch. Good to have you here, Mr. Richter. Thank you for the gift. Likewise, nice to finally have some time to talk. Took a folder from his briefcase and flipped it open. I can see the scribbles he made in the margins of my draft proposal. I have to say, I'm surprised by this proposal you prepared for the new constitution. I really do not understand your reasoning behind some of the changes. Thought we were on the same page. What parts don't you understand? What's on your mind? Don't get me wrong, I like your draft as already stated, but I'm shocked you've listened to our demands. Decreasing the electoral threshold and the term limits, that's more than we hoped for. How does USP feel about it, Mr. President? Is this political suicide, or did you actually manage to get the party behind your changes? The party listens to what I say. USP is in agreement. It is up to you to support it now. Why would you care if this was political suicide for me? Cannot afford to support another set of failed reforms. I am the opposition leader after all, Mr. President. People expect me to be hard against you. I've been campaigning for a new constitution for years, and I cannot let it vanish because it harkens Soul's party again. No offense intended. Are you aware the old guard has been reaching out even to PFJP members? I hope you're doing something to contain this mess. My hands are tied. We just need to focus on the upcoming vote. Who would have thought? Of course they are, but shouldn't worry. You're saying PFJP can be bought? Oof. What? No? I'm saying the circumstances might be stacked against you without your knowledge. That's it. But even the changes passed in the assembly, how are you going to win the Supreme Court over when your draft takes away the justice's immunity? We have a few connections on the inside. I'm going to handle that. Trust me, the justices care about money more than anything else. If we unite together, they'll be forced to support us. Yeah. Less so sure about that. A few justices will sympathize with us, but the ultimate decision will be up to the centrists, and Orso has them locked up. If we're doing this, we have to make it count. I hope that you will succeed, Mr. Rain. I respect what you're doing inside the USP. I will do my best to flip the Supreme Court as well. You can count on PFJP votes. I just want you to promise that you will give us proper credit and finally do something about unbalanced representation of our party on state television. For decades, your party has been doing whatever it could to stay in power while keeping PFJP silenced. We're on the same side. I expect you to finally acknowledge all the wrongs that have been done and act against the soulless state apparatus in full force. Of course, we're in this together. Can't deny my party's disreputable actions. Do not blame USP. Sordland has gone through a lot. Of course, we're in this together. It's great to hear. Hope we're going to rely on you in the upcoming vote. We expect the USP to rally behind your proposal. I can assure you, you'll have the PFJP's full support. USP will not be the problem with your support. These reforms will pass. I'm happy to cooperate with you, Mr. Richter. Don't doubt it. We'll change the Constitution together. USP will not be a problem with your support. These reforms will pass. I'm looking forward to it. Is there anything else? Before you leave, I'd like to address a few things I've heard about you. So many things said about me, I can't keep track of them. What exactly do you mean? Received intelligence you made a deal with Arcasia and that you tried covering your tracks. What do you have to say about that? Do you have some sort of secret partnership with President Dwight Walker? There are rumors about his influence on you. Because I've met with Walker before, I'm the leader of Sordland's largest opposition party and free to visit anyone I please. But since you asked, I will explain the context of our relationship. As you know, the downfall of President Alfonso was abrupt. He was the only progressive hope we had in USP. Our brief alliance with him accomplished great things, but we ran into a very concerning revelation. Our last meeting before the USP abandoned him, President Alfonso said the soul was not gone and still pulled the strings behind his back. Hi, kiddo. He was suspicious about a conspiracy against his reformist agenda, and he feared everything would collapse around him. And it did. Afterwards, the party voted you in. I don't think it was coincident, Mr. Rain. Wait, what are you trying to say? You think Soul and the Old Guard orchestrated all this? You're saying I was elected because Soul wanted it? I don't know, but your candidacy was definitely connected to the Old Guard. After realizing the true extent of Soul's deep state influence, I looked down for a second and continued. We were in this together, so I'll be honest. I lost hope that Sordland could ever achieve the liberties and democracy that had been working so hard for as long as Soulism was still alive and well, so I decided to act. Act how? I hope you didn't do anything to compromise our country. I was contacted by Arcasian Senator, one of Arcasia's biggest tycoons. I decided to agree to their meeting in hopes of receiving support. I'm going to let him continue, chat. Kept listening. Flew to Arcasia and eventually met President Walker. He offered political and economic support for me and my party, asking us to lead Sordland into the democratic sphere and become a member of the ATO. But the exploitative condition what he was demanding would have had crippling effects on our economy. I told him I was only there to increase economic cooperation, nothing else. I did not get their support, nor did I do anything illegal. To this day, I feel ashamed that I've gone to the feet of Arcasia like that, but at least I managed to stop myself from becoming the very thing I've been fighting against. That was a mistake. Big mistake from your side. So the intel was correct after all. I'm grateful you're telling me all this. I don't know if I can trust you after this. But he's telling me. He's literally telling me. Thanks for taking it so well. We must always be honest with one another. You have the authority to investigate this and potentially prosecute me for it. I gave you my trust. I hope I have yours. I will always acknowledge my wrongs and keep fighting for a better future. I believe that we are not different in this. I'll trust you, Mr. Richter. You are correct. I hope to be together in this fight for a better future. I appreciate your trust in me, but I'll need to think more about it. No, I trust him. I trust him. As revolutionaries once said, the morning will come, Mr. Rain. We'll see it one day. Anyway, if you ever want to discuss this topic further, feel free to call me. I don't have anything to hide. He stood up. I'll get going now. If you'll excuse me, thanks for the meeting. We shook hands. It's nice to have a president we can finally have a dialogue with. He laughed. I'll see you in the history books. Have a nice evening now. Whalen military initiates assault on targets. Chief of Armed Forces Valken Kruger reported that Wazink Armed Forces are moving north towards the town of Vernon. Oh, I did this right. Yesterday's party conference, PFJP Franz Richter announced that he will be giving his full support to the constitutional changes proposed to the USP. Also asked the members of the party to follow him in the endeavor. Were history books even invented back then? No, they weren't at all. They didn't exist. Ward Company contract. Put forward their bibs a hope of winning the government contract for the new ambitious investment. Which company should we pick? History hadn't happened yet, so what are they written about? First holding. New and entrepreneurial private companies using cutting edge construction technology recently began taking bigger and riskier contracts. Underhaul doesn't. First also deals with shipyard building, bridge works, and training aircraft hangars. Company is known for its great employee perks and high union membership. Considered much more open and competitive compared to the usual storage corporations. Barley Guard is the most honorable company in the country. Long, solid track record. Recent years' efficiency seems to have dropped due to the recession and somehow corrupt management structure. Still considered the safest bet for big projects. It's important we get it done quickly. I'm just going to go with Taurus. Updates on the situation of education. Meeting with the rector and a brief tour of the University of Valgan, we gathered in a room with Sierra. The entire campus is visible from the windows. Students were reading books, studying, and having picnics under a tree. It reminded me of my own times at Lock Haven Business School. At least the more carefree moments. Reminiscing about the past. How are university years? Yes, the ups and downs, but it was still fun. It's nothing. Usual story, few friends dead, a couple of them missing after the coups. Oh, and I almost rested once. No good memories. You should try to be a bit more optimistic. What for? We all went through tough times back then. Damn, I'm sorry. That's something I would say. When I go to Moe's and watch them fold and wrap my burrito, I realize that the earth ain't even flat, but it probably used to be. I was killing some more beetles. I'm for real back now. Oh, welcome back, kiddo. Slayer of stink beasts. Wait, you're not supposed to kill stink bugs. I had a spider in my mailbox chat, and there was baby spiders, and I just cleared it today. They're not stink bugs. Oh, well, Cheeky said they were stink beasts. The elm seed bugs, and they stink when they die. Oh. Start off by saying this. It's very positive to see the administration dedicate funding as requested. I'm making sure the additional funds are being used in the best way possible in order to resolve structural issues. Speaking of, I want to thank you for allowing me to lead our education system in the right direction. By removing nationalist indoctrination and traditional teachings, we have unlocked the potential in the next generation. They're invasive become a serious problem. It's horrible. Oh, that sucks. Oh, they're not stink bugs? I'm spreading misinfo as per usual. Way to go, Cheeky. Students of now will thank us in the future. I said students, not Siri. For we have unlocked the potential of critical thought the society desperately needed. In this way, you have surprised all leaders before you. Sordland needs visionaries like you to reform and becoming something better. I did only what was necessary. Yeah, I'm gonna glaze her up. We are on to something promising and grand, Mr. President. She nodded and brought out a stack of papers from her bag. Spinning her ballpoint pen, she went through the papers, organizing some of them together. Our ministry has prepared the necessary framework regarding how to spend our increased education budget. I've outlined 3 potential options. We can build on new rural schools, improve the standards of the existing ones, or increase salaries for all education workers. Are they still stinky? No, you're stinky. I wish I had a Vorlo emote. Yeah, I don't have a Vorlo emote, unfortunately. Vorlo was in earlier, kidda. Vorlo was in earlier with the sandal raid. I think I've seen those elm seed bugs all over Florida. Maybe that's a different bug. I don't know if I've ever heard of them. I miss Vorlo. Yeah, Vorlo popped in for a sandal raid. I think I've seen those bugs. I think I've seen them before. Coming a bit, plan to build more rural schools. Issue is very critical. We're losing many young people to ignorance and illiteracy. Sordland's rural population is full of untapped potential. With enough education, these people could be an asset to our workforce and society. Look at how United Katana is pushing past occasion, education, and research because most of the rural populace has access to schools. Why should we increase the salaries of education workers? Why don't we do all 3? Job itself should be in higher regard and compensated accordingly. These are people who have chosen to dedicate themselves to the betterment of others, helping raise the next generation. We ought to give them what they deserve for real. Improving rural schools. Where to start? At the very least, they need new equipment and materials. Many of these schools are facing shortage of desks and textbooks. The ones that aren't haven't been updated since before the Sol administration. Teachers lack the resources to give Sordish youth a proper education and can be as bad as if they don't go to school at all. I'm ready to decide. Put the pen down and looked at me. Build new rural schools. Primary goal must be increase access to education. Yes. Feels gratifying that we're finally serving the people directly. I'll pass it down to the ministry. That's all there is for now. I've talked to Ms. Suno, scheduled some time to discuss curriculum. She's a very astute woman, your secretary. You may want to consider promoting her. We'll meet again soon. Can I promote her to the interior and get rid of Lilius? Thank you for your efforts. Keep up the good work. See you at our next meeting. Keep up the good work. Chat, I'm making great decisions. Accessible rural education. Wait, why does it do that? That's crazy. Fuck. Oh, it sends me to a different map. Oh. Read the report. Ministry of Justice files Urson Sordland concurrence. Ministry of Justice reviewed Urson Sordland case and put forward its concurrence opinion before sending the dispute to the Supreme Court. Minister of Justice Naya Morgda came forward agreeing with the case of Urson and pointing out the majority court dissent would do disservice to the legal precedent of future constitutional rights cases. The case is now in the hands of the Supreme Court. Fuck! That's the Supreme Court. CSP Union Conference in Gobland. Ministry of Justice files Urson Sordland. Okay. Briefing. Sierra scheduled a short meeting in the Ministry of Education to discuss current curriculum taught in schools. Ministry building was located in the government district right next to the Ministry of Health. It was tall, narrow, and wedge-shaped like a slightly open book. Near the front gate, there was many statues of world-renowned scientists and thinkers. The largest course was of Ardavan Einstein, greatest scientist of all time. Above the main entrance was a familiar inscription. Instrument in the system, blah, blah, blah. Education is the premise of progress in all societies and all families. Inside the building, I was greeted by Sierra's assistants and led me to the meeting room where she was waiting inside. She stood and gripped my hand. Good afternoon, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Sierra. We'll cut straight to the chase. Our progressive reform of Sordland education system well underway, but is one sticking point. It involves evolution versus creationism. As it currently stands, schools across Swordfield can decide whether to include evolution, creationism, or both in their curriculum. Rural schools often decide in favor of creationism only, which puts students at a disadvantage when it comes to entering university. The effect is especially noticeable in young women. Education, yes. Also, bless my therapist for letting me have an extra 45 minutes for free. That's a good therapist, kiddo. My suggestion is to make the teaching of evolution mandatory and preferably ban creationism altogether. Don't agree with teaching our children supernatural nonsense like creationism. I don't see a problem with teaching our children both. Evolution is the idea that ought to be banned. Evolution is dangerous. God damn. That's great to hear. It sounds like we're already aligned on the matter. Lucian knocked and entered. Excuse me. Some urgent business kept me away. Mr. Galad, Mr. President, Ms. Walda. Why are we late? We're just discussing curriculum. Sierra has made some excellent points. Granted claim. I need some opinions. Very well, let's hear them. Continuing from my previous point, it is my conviction that we should require mandatory teaching of evolution in Sordland's public schools and cut creationism completely out. If we want children from rural areas to have the same opportunities as their urban counterparts, this is the way. Opening students' minds and reducing the roles of religion in schools will also lead to more equality between young men and women. As well, don't bring your pet cause into this, Mr. President. There are other considerations you may not have thought about. Although I myself believe in evolution, we must be careful not to alienate our rural conservative voter base. We owe a lot to their support. Forcing their school districts to teach evolution could irreparably damage our standing with them. Every modern nation is reducing and removing creationism in their curriculum, yet we are supposed to allow schools to promote fundamental and, yes, sexist ideas from 1,000 years back. So this is what we're doing now, copying what other nations are doing instead of paving our way. Yes! Yes, Lucian! You see what works in other fucking countries, and you bring it to your fucking country. God damn it, Lucian. If it works, why not look at the analysis? It's clear the superpowers are doing something right. Sierra and I are like 2 peas in a pod, chat. 2 peas in a pod. Should we reinvent the wheel, Mr. Galad? You speak as if we don't import any influences from other countries. That's not what I said. Their voices started to get louder and louder. I held up my hands for silence. We can still allow creationism to be taught alongside evolution. Sierra, you can live with that. You can discuss creationism, just say some people just believe shit, and that's okay, but in science, we run off the observable realities. Yeah. Except, I think it's making me choose. Evolution is the way forward. Creationism has no place in the public school curriculum. I mean, it's 2 different colors for me. Yeah, she is for me too. She probably just changed the color. Yeah, we're not teaching creationism alongside of it. We're going to teach creationism as a fucking conspiracy theory. Racism? Thank you, as you said, it's the only way to produce a new generation of thinkers. I had to think about it. I had to think about it for a second. I'm like, oh, I get it now. We went from light pink to pinker. There are other methods of bringing Sordland forward, ones that don't sever our ties with the entire voter base. Sarah looked at me in the eye. It's your decision. Don't forget, future generations sort of future counting on you. From now on, creationism shall be banned. Only evolution will be taught in schools. I'll make the teaching of evolution mandatory, but schools may promote creationism alongside of it if they wish. We'll stick to the current system. Evolution will be mandatory, and schools that wish to teach creationism exclusively may do so. No. Yeah. I will make teaching evolution mandatory, but schools may promote creationism along the way. Nah, we're gonna... Nah, creationism is a waste of fucking time. As a chief strategist, my job is to advise you on the political landscape. I can guarantee this won't do us well. Sometimes there are more important things, like ideals. They turned to look at each other. Lucian lifted his eyebrows, and Sierra held her gaze for a couple seconds. The meeting ended shortly. Dude, Sierra is a fucking goat. Sierra's a goddamn goat. Economy stabilizing? Oh, really? It's stabilizing? Huh. Oh, hi, Joe Father. Oh, Sarah's bloodish question. The bloodish question? Jesus fucking Christ. Dare prepares for day of dissension. Nationalize the big four now. As debated about privatization, the whole sword post firmly believes President Reign should come down on the side of nationalization for all the big four. The corporations have long defined Sordland's ownership. Debate. Heart of Sordland and Burgia Steel remain entirely. Yeah, we're gonna fucking nationalize the shit out of it. New mega project. Overblown rights case appealed. Burgess backs Reigns reforms. Step towards economic freedom. Fuck, I fucked that up. Privatization in the future of Sordland? No. Whether refugees fleeing the Sordish border. Victory Day celebrations, radical. Big win for science as Reign forces school to evolve. Wazek Bloods seek refuge in Sordland. Person case goes to the Supreme Court. Ideological chess game in Rika. Press freedoms. Diminishing space. Oof. Thousands protest. Okay. Nolia trade deal update. Effects of the trade deal with Nolia is now in effect as per the signed agreement. In a short amount of time, steel trade in Sordland has seen an increase in flow with especially the Agnan region. Governor Aglan has reported this trade deal has helped increase manufacturing output. As a Christian communist, I believe the debate of creationism versus evolution is stupid. Why would you put your religion against science rather than recessing your beliefs based on new discoveries and just believe that your God used these observable realities to craft the world through things like evolution? I agree, Emmy. I agree, Emmy. I agree. That's my philosophy too. If there's more evidence brought to you, you should be able to change your mind. I also reserve that right. I change my mind if there's new evidence brought to me. Governor Adelaide reports results. I did that already. Validation of Connell. Head of Teachers Association Sordland resigns. After implementation of new curriculum which banned creationism for schools, the head of Teachers Association of Sordland, along with 8 of the 12 members that resigned in protest following suit, teachers and principals from various schools in Bedford have also left their jobs. Approximately 1,600 teacher positions are expected to be refilled in nearby regions. Okay, no problem. Sarah Kibner is preparing a bill which aims to unify Sordish education by making Sordish the only language accepted. No, not fucking happening. Economic report, suffering the effects of economic recession, unemployment spiking, wheelin operation mixed success. Consensus is that while Whelin's army went a long way towards neutralizing Bloodish threat, there were many preventable casualties. Yeah, that's why I didn't join that shit. Investment provided by the government has been put into use via various programs and new companies and technologies. Opportunity has led to an increase in overall entrepreneurship. Okay. All right. High-speed railway. Where's the other thing that I'm doing construction on? It's Morna? Where's Morna at? Oh, here it is. Under construction. Seaport. Okay. All right. Energy Inflation Reduction Act. Energy Inflation Reduction Act aims to address the recent surge in energy prices due to foreign entities. Grand National Assembly proposes these countermeasures. Establish a temporary price cap on gas prices. Prevent extreme hikes in energy costs for the sort of citizens. This measure ensures immediate relief. Calls for negotiation bilateral agreements to energy-rich countries for stable, reasonable priced. Outlines the strategic expansion and modernization of domestic energy production capabilities by investing in our own coal and natural gas facilities. We can reduce our dependence on foreign energy supplies. Yes. Sign it! Chat, when I was on the island, I had a conversation with Marsh Lee's person who was of Baha'i faith. And I wish Keko was here for this, because we just found out that they had passed away a couple months ago, actually. I had a conversation with him about his faith, and he said under his faith, they have 2 different pillars. They have faith and then science. And they stay away from one another. They're 2 independent things, but they support everything else. And I found that very cool explanation of science and faith. And kind of solidified my, well, not solidified, but eased my atheist tendency, my Reddit atheist tendency. Well, helped ease my Reddit atheist tendency. Attending Victory Day event, presidential state car road to Jen. Sir drove us to the city of Jen and strong on the Sordish nationalists for an event organized by the opposition parties to discuss current events. In reality, it was probably a publicity stunt to show Sordland that the leaders of the assembly could sit around the same table. National Front Party, which governed the city, undoubtedly had the biggest hand in the organization. In the meeting, it was not a coincidence it fell on Victory Day. Today's day is especially symbolic importance for Sordland. Every year on the 14th of March, proud patriots from all ages gather to celebrate the end of the Sordish Civil War and Parkinson's victory. Jenna survived one of the worst atrocities in the war. Is Victory Day celebration of the most jubilant in Sordland. Originally, only Peter and I were scheduled at 10, but after learning about new developments with Ishval Urshan case, Nia Morgana was invited as well. Representatives of both PFJP and FP have told us they wanted to talk about the case in more detail. Get ready to go to bed now. Hope you all have fun tonight. Thank you, Amy. Thank you for coming in here. Have a happy veg. He departed whole sword force. Peter and I left in our own little later. Peter was sitting next to me in the presidential car, skimming through the morning newspaper in silence. Suddenly, Serge rolled down the soundproof window. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, we're about to arrive at Jen's Center of Culture. Miss Morgana has already arrived and she'll be waiting for you. Peter raised his head to look out the window. He folded the newspaper and laid it beside him. Wow, that was too comfortable to drive to have been this fast. See, I wasn't joking. Serge is the best. Thank you, Serge. How are you today, Serge? I'm just fine. Thanks for asking. Serge took a left turn and drove through the tiny streets of Jen. The city looked surprisingly clean and well maintained. There was no sign of destruction the city suffered during one of the heaviest battles of the Civil War. We slowed down in front of a colorful plaza overlooking a massive concrete building with a giant sign that read Jen Center of Culture. Looks like the NFP mayors have recently transformed the city. Wasn't this an abandoned warehouse for the longest time? I believe it used to function as a rebel militia base during and a little while after the Civil War. All right, the Black Battalion. It's not sour in the mood with memories of the Civil War. It's been a while since I've heard that name. Black Battalion. If you remember, they used places like this to organize in the 30s. Lucky for us, Seoul handled them long ago. Well, maybe not all of them. Their democratic counterparts, like the Young Swords, lived on and all, after all, until you finally banned them. Serge stopped the car and went outside to hold our doors. Here we are, sir. I hope you have a great day. We got out of the car and walked towards the entrance of the building. Every spot around us was decorated with flags of Sordland. Comically large amount of flags almost fully enveloped the buildings around the plaza, maroon, white, and gold. At the entrance, Kasara Kibiner, the head of the National Front Party, was waiting for us in his iconic brown suit, watching the sky. Look at this guy, so full of himself. How did this clown convince the PFJP to have trilateral talks with them anyway? Probably the same reason why we're here. It's Victory Day, remember? Honestly, it says more about friends and PFJP. He's dangerously competent man, Peter. We should be cautious of them. I agree. Seeing us arrive, Kasaro approached us with a smile. Thank you for being here on this glorious day, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President. As the former mayor of Jen, it is an honor to welcome you to this fine city. Thank you, Mr. Kibner. It looks like you were a good mayor. Maybe you should think about running for local office again. It's good to be here. Shake his hand in silence. Thank you for organizing, Mr. Kibner. Representatives of PFJP and Minister Morgana are already inside the private meeting room. Hopefully we'll be finished before the festivities start. Kasaro gestured at the door behind him. Shall we? Please. Before we go in, is there any way we can discuss how you can help us with the constitutional changes? No, we're not going to talk to him. We're not going to talk to him nuts. Follow me, enter the building, and walk through a massive conference hall until we approach the door towards the back of the building. We'll have the meeting here. Kasaro opened the doors for us and we entered the building. PFJP leader Franz Richter and his deputy Manoli Shuhal was already seated at the left side of the table. There's so many people in this meeting, chat. As soon as we entered, Nita came to greet us. After showing our seats, Kasaro sat down next to his deputy Remus Holstrom. This is such a meaningful day. Thank you for coming here on behalf of your parties. But beside the festive atmosphere, we in the PFJ want to raise a few important concerns about worrying state of affairs in Sordland. Kasaro stopped for a moment to check his note. Very worrying indeed. Mr. Richter and his analysts have been working on an analysis of the blood problem. As soon as they brought it up, we gave our support without reservations. The blood problem? Mr. Holt. I'm sorry to interrupt, but the analysis is about racism and radicalization in Sordland, and our main topic is the case of Urson and Sordland. Please don't try to spin it. Of course, Mr. Suhal, Mr. Holstrom just wanted to point out that this analysis is focusing mainly on topics related to the Bloodish people. Why we're discussing this on Victory Day, I'm surprised that your parties have conducted joint analysis. I refuse to discuss the topic without any Bloodish representation. Oh, based. Actually, Mr. President is completely right. Hold up, guys. Let's hear them out first. We are representing the parties of the assembly here. We did invite representatives of the Worker Party of Bludia to join us, but they refused. Another proof they have different agenda. If they were genuinely concerned for the plight of their people, they would have come today. Dude, that's crazy. Their people shouldn't worry. The Sordish patriots are here to defend them instead. Hold on. If this meeting is going to turn into a racist summit, I will take my leave immediately. I'll hear you out, but know that I will not act on anything before talking to them. Hold on. If this meeting is going to turn into a racist summit, I will take my leave immediately. No, Mr. President, it won't, hopefully. Let's get back on track, ladies and gentlemen. Just our friends. I want to give the word to Mr. Richter to explain the issue. Our analysis of the current tensions between the Bloodish and Swordish population in Sordland displays a worrying picture. As much as I hate to say it, the threat of the Bloodish Freedom Front is getting real again. The situation in Rumburg and wheelin is very concerning. The increasingly discriminatory actions of the governor of Bergia are resulting in the radicalization of many young Bloodish people. Distressingly, the number of radicals have increased significantly after wheelin's Operation Bear Trap. Of course. Of course it does. That's what happened. Let's also point out that the recruitment numbers of the BFF has significantly increased with Nurist communities. Peter frantically looked through the papers. That's correct. The reports show that 39 Nurist sanctuaries in Bergia are now classified as red threats by the authorities. Many priests in the region are also suspected of having ties to BFF. Religious harmony bill would have directly crippled this network they established within our sanctuaries. As the threat of BFF proposes is a direct one, this issue requires direct action that would bear direct results. I'm disappointed by the lack of action taken by the USP administration. Bill would have unnecessarily raised already high tensions. I'm regretting my decision to veto bill. Your bill would have made everything worse. What do you suggest? Your bill would have unnecessarily raised already high tensions. You did well by vetoing, Mr. President. Our suggestion is finally enforce the official language of our country as stated in the Constitution. We're working on a Unified Language Act. It is directly aimed at breeding grounds for Bloodish Freedom Front. Police have infiltrated 32 BFF training grounds in remote towns around Bergia that pose as middle schools. Despite all the evidence, similar schools keep popping up. So-called activists are constantly blocking Governor Braun's attempts to stop these schools, claiming he's attacking their right to language. You can't take away the Bloodish people's right to be educated in their own language. This is insane. Please read the proposal carefully. It does not take away anyone's rights. It only gives the state a way to control the radicalization of these schools and teach Bloodish nationalist propaganda. And according to the Constitution, the language of the Sordland is Sordish. If nothing is being done to enforce that, we are breaching the Constitution. This law simply enforces it. With all due respect, Mr. Kibbener, this bill is not strong enough. The Bloodish language should be completely banned. You know, people like Miss Suhel or Miss Morgana will never even vote for your watered-down bill. Ramus. Kassara repositioned himself in the chair and continued. True, it does not ban Bloodish language or Bloodish education. It will instead make Sordish mandatory to learn for everyone living in the country. This will only decrease tension in the long term. Fair point, however, the wording of the bill is far too vague to work as intended. It gives the government too much power over educational institutes. I disagree. The language is quite clear and is in line with the Constitution, but we can still improve it. Of course, it is true. It gives them more control. Is not necessary compromise. I'll sign the bill if it reaches me. I'll have to read it in detail to decide if I can support it. I don't see how this helps the situation. Even in Assembly Sports, I will surely be using my veto on it. PFJP will not allow this bill to pass the Assembly. Let's not make statements that the party hasn't agreed on yet. Manoli looked furious. She opened her mouth to respond, then read the room and closed it again, as if PFJP has the influence to change the outcome. If I may continue with our analysis, the situation also connected to Rumburg. As everybody already knows, in the case of the future incursion, BFF forces in Sordland could become an existential threat. Oh, I'm a little late. It's okay. Emmy knew you were there. So I remove the authority of the governor. With all due respect, I already received this information from Internal Affairs. Tell us something we don't know. Sordland could become next. Selling Miss Graff. May NFP influences be more than you think. It's weird that we're aligned on that matter. We have to do something about it because the reality is secessionists are on the rise. He adjusted his tie and continued. Our analysis matches with what the Ministry of Interior shared with us, but despite this fact, we believe the Ministry is hiding information from us, which is actively fueling the tension behind the scenes. As much as I now support a strict response against BFF, it must also be coupled with the expansion of rights for the Bloodish people. Is the only way to fight against radicalization. That is BFF propaganda. What rights are we talking about here? What can a sword in Sordland do that a blood cannot? You are using soft language to cover up for your willingness to negotiate with terrorists. You are a BFF apologist, Mr. Richter. Miriam shouted the last sentence. Peter tapped on the table to get his attention. Please don't raise your voice, Mr. Holstern. The moon in the room had turned sour. Is USP that desperate for Mr. Richter's support now? Manoli bellowed out a loud laugh. Mr. Vectorn is the last person to sway PFJP. What is that supposed to mean? Jeff, can we return to the topic? This is a mess. I thought we were here for a proper meeting. Enough. Everyone silent looked at me. now on, nobody speaks until the speaker finishes their point. Can we return to the topic? This is a mess. Sarah and Peter nodded. You heard the man. Please finish your point, Mr. Richter. We require your support with a more pressing matter. This might have very significant consequences for our blooded citizens. May serve as a dangerous trigger if we're not careful. Friends gestured to Manoli. She carefully placed several pieces of paper in front of her. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, and Ms. Minister. As you already know, there's a major Supreme Court case at the moment. Ursin is suing the governor of Bergia, Felix Braun, for infringing upon the liberties of blooded people and demands that the Constitution be revised. Because of the arguments and implications, Felix Braun, and consequently, the very Constitution of Sordland is under trial. The fact is, he needs to be punished and the Constitution must be reviewed. I'm aware of this case. In fact, we are already working on revoking the current special zone status of Bergia. That's great to hear. We'd be very happy if you can share the details once they're more concrete. We will definitely give support when the time comes, Mr. President. However, the case of Ishval Urshan has the bigger reach than Bergia. Nia raises her hand and spoke. I was actively involved in this case because of the implications with the Constitution. There's no way the Supreme Court will agree with Urshan on all the points. Not if all three parties of the Assembly support Urshan together. We could put pressure on them, and we only need them to agree on a few of those points. And why do you think it would influence the court's decision? All parties. Is NFP really willing to support Urshan and Mr. Kimner? Peace and harmony in Sordland, yes, but perhaps we must clarify the details first. What's the significance of the case? What is the most likely outcome of this case? What are the plans and suggestions? Significance of the case. Straight with you, Mr. President. If the court rules against Urshan, this will most likely turn BFF campaign into a bloodish revolution. We ask everybody to recognize this. I and the NFP are ready to push for de-escalation and aid our nation during dangerous times. I'll be completely honest, I would never expected that from you. He was visibly annoyed and kept himself silent. Because the case is now in the hands of the Supreme Court, this ruling will influence all future implementation of the law and decision-making at the lower courts. We have the Minister of Justice here with us, too. I'm sure she would not disagree with what I just said. Nia did not comment, but nodded. I'm afraid Mr. Kimmerer is right about this. If the court ignores this case now, it may turn into something massive. Therefore, we have to pressure the court not to escalate their already high tensions. What do you really think happened if the court ignores it? Sordland will not be threatened or blackmailed by some massive response from a group of people. As concerning as this all is, the Supreme Court must make its decision independently. This is not our jurisdiction. Okay. Another all-out BFF rebellion, Mr. President. In my opinion, that would be the preferred outcome if enemies do truly live within our border. I'd rather have them show their true faces earlier than later. It's exactly what those damn rumps want. They were ready for a war and waiting to use the tensions inside Sordland against us. I think the threat is exaggerated. We can't allow that to happen. I'll be honest with you, I'm not feeling very comfortable talking about bloodish rights with NFP. I understand where this comes from, Mr. President, but please do not act like we are an anti-blood party. Don't forget, we have members and supporters with blood too. It's probably Blued. It's probably Blued. I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly. Wow, good for you guys. Token Bluds. Yeah, I'm gonna use Bluds for now. Most likely the outcome of the case. First and most likely option, the Supreme Court completely ignores the arguments and rejects it in entirety. If they ignore all the points that strike against Urshan, Governor Braun will be free to follow discriminatory policies without any obstacles. In a possible future case, the court's interpretation of the Urshan case will be the basis of all future rulings, which opens the way to suspending the rights of non-swords. Would effectively erase any progress that has been made regarding bloodish rights, and will embolden anti-bloodish proponents to follow their actions freely. I go see Hi Cat. Definitely can't let that happen. That would be disastrous for bloodish citizens. Bloodish rights and the BFF have been major issues for many decades now. I don't see how this case makes either any worse than before. How does it affect administration? Erase any progress been made regarding bloodish rights and embolden anti-bloodish proponents. Definitely can't let this happen. This is precisely why our expectation is to see a different result this time. The stakes couldn't be higher. What are your plans and suggestions? In short, the plan is to release a unified statement to the justices declaring their support for Urshan and explaining why this is so important. The only good result would be as the Supreme Court reiterates its commitment to the pillar of unity in solism. Mr. President, despite previously being against it, I now completely understand why Sordland still needs solism. We need unity now more than ever. Article 6 is that unity. We do not need soulless unity. Casara stared Remus down and continued. If a court reiterates the definition of sword in Article 6 as an all-encompassing term, it would be acknowledging that Urson and others like him are indeed protected by the rights of sword people, which they are. As a result, the resettlement policy in Daira would be reversed, opening the way to Governor Braun's removal and de-escalation of tensions in Bergia. Is that true, Ms. Morgana? Does that mean the existence of the Bludish people is literally not being acknowledged? That actually makes a lot of sense. What about those who don't want to be called sword? Doesn't feel like... Yeah, we're going to say this. Exactly. Our current constitution fails to recognize Bludish people. It is time we abolish the inherent racism in it. Oh, I had a good answer. Citizens of Sordland, the Swords, the Constitution clearly defines that in Article 6 and encompasses everybody. This shouldn't be up for debate. What racism are you talking about? Soulism is based on civic nationalism, not ethnic. I do not understand why someone would go against such a broad and inclusive law. I don't see the commies criticizing their continent identity when in fact the country is filled with different ethnicities. I agree with Mr. Kibner. United Sordland is what we need. I see your point, but I still don't understand why the NFP suddenly had to change your heart. Because Kantana has nothing to do with this. And Article 6 is inherently racist. Are you even comparing Sordland with United Katana? Are you alright, Mr. Kibner? Disagree. This case is important for the greater good of the Swordish nation, and that is what Nationalist Front stands for. All I'm asking is, even if United Katana, the Balaniviev, doesn't call himself Kovanian before Contentian, why is it that Bluds cannot do the same? Why does Sordland have to be divided? You have a point, but I must point out Katanan is a word for geographic entity, unlike sword. This is Sordland. You can subscribe to whatever idea you want, but if you are a citizen, you are a sword. This is how nations work. Reality is the Bluds do not respect nor recognize the laws and authority of Sordland. They'd rather separate themselves from Sordland and protest the very laws that protect them, so they can cry about injustice and ask Sordland's enemies to come and save them. I personally do not agree with the Bluds are swords, soulless crap. Dude, this guy is racist as fuck. Can't believe the words being thrown around at this meeting. What is the position of PFJP? Neither can I. I think it's time that we wrap this up. Personally, somewhat agree with Mr. Kibner on this. However, our position in PFJP that Article 6 does indeed discriminate against non-swords. And having a positive outcome for this case alone doesn't suffice. We agree to come together in support of Ishmael Urshan, but we believe our statement should include acknowledgement of inherent racism within the Constitution. Let's use the opportunity to show the flaws in the Constitution. If the court agrees that there is in fact conflict between the articles or recognize the discriminant, and the Hawker Court is going to listen to that. Besides, we do not agree with your inherent racism hogwash. You have to state that it is your party's opinion and does not reflect NFP. We don't take part in that. That would make the statement look weak and disorganized. If there's no consistent strategy, I don't think it would work. I think I have enough information to be able to say we are deep in the mud here. Peter laughed at his own joke attempt, but nobody else reacted. Well, I think the NFP stance could do some good for the Bludish without provoking the establishment, but even that might be risky right before the vote. But the PFJP stance would be too radical for our party. I think it might be better to keep our administration out of this. I'm not sure if it's worth the risk right before the vote for our reforms, but the decision is yours. Tell me why we should pressure the court to admit discrimination with the Constitution. Tell me why we should convince them to reiterate their position on Article 6. Because the right thing to do, Mr. President, now is not the time to weaken superficial actions. We can show the people of Sordland the reality of the situation, create a precedent for the future constitutional amendment of these articles. And if he is willing to join with this statement, how do you think the Supreme Court will react if we do it your way? What do you think, Peter? Suggest Ms. Myrna. No, we're willing to give our support for Urson for the violation of his right to property. But if you are going to go that way, we have to make two separate statements. How do you think the Supreme Court will react if you do it your way? We have to try. If they truly care for the people, they would agree to it. If not, people will see the reality of this soulless state apparatus. Peter leaned and whispered, I don't think this would work, Anton. Hawker won't be influenced, plus it could further antagonize them against our reforms. We'll definitely lose votes. In my opinion, PFJP has the most to gain from this. They'd be seen as leaders of this table, not us. He leaned and whispered, I agree with Mr. Richter and Ms. Suhal. I personally think we should join them in their statement. I also agree Chief Justice Hawker won't have a sudden change of heart because of it, but we must put pressure on the justice nonetheless. I think I have made my own position clear. In the end, it is your decision. Tell me why we should convince them to reiterate on Article 6, because it's the only way to decrease tensions, and the Supreme Court can't afford to look hypocritical, so they'll have to take the Soulless side. I still think of this as admitting defeat against Soulism, but Mr. Kimner is right. The Rumberg situation demands extraordinary measures. Yeah, I've made my decision. USP will join the statement will argue that Articles 6 and 7 are inherently discriminatory and in conflict with the rights of the people. As Mr. Richter suggested, USP will join the statement will argue Bludish people are considered swords before the law. As Mr. Kimner, I don't want to release unified statement. Okay. It's great to hear. We'll get to work immediately after the celebrations. I'll be honest, I didn't expect USP president to agree to this. You've proved me wrong, Mr. Rain. That's a shame, really. Sadly, NFP cannot take part in this. With all due respect, Mr. Kimner, NFP cannot merely stay out of it. We must condemn the decision, actively protest it. Oh, so you want to actively say you're Nazis? Okay, you can be Nazis. Yes, we'll talk about it later. Remus, we appreciate all your comments, ladies and gentlemen, but now that USP stance is clear, we should probably end the meeting here. After bidding our farewells, Casaro took us outside the building and joined a Victory Day event on the plaza. All right. So we will continue it. And I will continue this gameplay tomorrow. Victims of Changes. Chapter 3, Victims and Changes. I will continue this tomorrow. What do we have to make a decision on? Call from Marcel Carant. Oh, fuck that guy. But I'm going to continue this tomorrow because I have to wake up very, very early tomorrow. So early that it'll still be tonight. Thank you for streaming. No problem. Kat, thank you for being here. Thanks for coming back. And I hope your little date for yourself went well and was good relief for you. But it looked like you had a good view after eating your tacos, as well as dressing to the nines. But yeah, we need to send you all somewhere now. Very nice, thank you. No problem. We need to send you all somewhere. Giga? Send you over to Giga. Wait, not Giga. Yeah, she's doing subscribers only, right? Yeah, I sent everybody over there last week for subscribers only. Where does it say subscribers only, by the way? Also, I remembered as soon as I said it. Oh, hi, Ari. Also, chat, I think I found something in Fossabot where we can vote on timing people out. It probably says it. I know it definitely says it in the notifications because I've gotten that before. But so Potato Queen and Dairy are playing Burglin Gnome. We can send you over to Center Marxism as well. I'm not sure what they're watching. Or I can send you to my buddy that's a DJ. Where do y'all want to go? Or Supa too. Lots of options. Or Caroline Kwan. We need a wheel for stuff like this. I mean, I could literally just go. I could go onto a website and just do it. How about Super? I'm down for anything. Oh, Supa's dressed up too. Yeah, we're sending you over to Supa. Chat, here are the raid messages. First one are those that are not subbed. Next two that are those that are subbed. PSA is a wolf costume, not a mouse. Okay. Good to know. So I'm definitely going to ask her if it's a mouse. I'm definitely going to ask her if it's a mouse. But chat, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The ears threw me for a loop. Yeah, the ears are very short. But thank you, thank you, thank you. Get it, a super loop. Oh, got him. Got him, kidda. Ask how we'd be proud. But chat, that's going to be it for me tonight. I'm working 2 rounds tomorrow, but I will be done early, so I will be streaming tomorrow. I was planning on doing a baseball workout, potentially after work, but I'm also going grocery shopping, so we'll see what happens with the timing. No, I'm not doing 6-7. Or maybe I'll do editing. I should probably do editing. But thank you all for so much for being here. With that being said, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good night. See y'all later. Go Birds, fuck ICE, free Palestine, fuck Israel. See ya. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for being here, kiddo. See y'all later.